no.
This is how I like to start D&D games, is with laughter, as we were all enjoying our own little hype train in the chat, behind the scenes. I'm like, oh, I got an intro running. We're about to start a D&D game. Oh yeah, I got to push the button. Hey, internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Hope and Redemption, a Harper's Tale D&D mini campaign featuring all of these amazing people. And me. And tonight is our fourth episode, entitled Breaking Bread and Bones. And we are excited to be back with all of you once again. It has been, I think it's been about 3 weeks. We play every other week, and between my internet issues and some people's work schedules, it just didn't work out last time. So we are very excited in this relatively quiet week between the holidays to be able to bring you this game and to continue to have all of this incredible fun that we all have. I don't think we've played a game of this yet that we haven't broken into giggle fits, including at the start of the game. So this bodes well. I'm not saying I'm drinking, but...
Oh, I am.
Not saying I'm not.
I'm not saying I'm not.
To Betsy.
So right off the bat, we're going to do a couple of announcements here. We're going to do a couple of announcements here, but I want to make sure I'm caught up. I owe you all 5 domain dice because chat has been already incredible.
That reminds me.
So this is a great point to explain to you, the audience, just what are domain dice. Well, if you look up above GoblinKatie's head, you'll see that plus 15 and those couple of bluish looking D20s. Those are a little something that we've created that will allow you, the viewer, to participate in our games. The way this works is by subscribing, resubscribing, gifting a sub, any of those kind of things that you're all well aware of that have been happening in the chat since we got started here. Plus $5 tips, 500 bits of cheering, all of that stuff turns into domain dice. Of course, domain dice are actually used in order for the players to re-roll D20s. They can spend 2 and make me re-roll a D20. All the way up to 5 domain dice, which is called the Patron's Blessing, which allows them to take any hit and turn it into a super critical, which is a double max damage critical hit. So we'll see how that plays out as this group of adventures so far. This has been a non-lethal adventure. I don't think they have killed a single creature. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I almost did. But it wasn't. It wasn't me killing them so much as me almost being eaten.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
Oh,
so
by the way, we get 5 more domain dice.
5.
What?
5.
Yeah, I just gifted 5
I read that wrong. I read that wrong. I added 1 because I saw that instead of adding the 5. I guess I'm going to have to create some scenarios where you're going to need to use these domain dice.
Oh, no, my rolls will create their own scenarios.
Right?
Actually,
I've used them because I didn't die.
Rodney needs to start using them for his 11s.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, back when domain dice were brand new, I think it was during a Jasper's game that B. Dave Walters was actually the one that sort of instituted the just keep rolling them until you until you get what you want. As long as you got them, and when you run out, then the audience, you guys can start, hooking them back up some more. So that's our domain dice. That's how they work. We're gonna move on, but keep subscribing, resubbing, gifting, all that good stuff. It helps to support the channel. And it helps the players in the zany situations they will no doubt find themselves in. Real quick, I do want to shout out the fact that we have, of course, as always, the Jasper's Game Day logo down in the lower left-hand corner. That is because Mini Terrain Domain is a partner, and under their on their website, they've got their partner sort of listed out. We are listed as Experienced Traveler. So we are at the Experienced Traveler level of partnership with with Jasper's Game Day, which of course we've been excited to be for going on 3 years. You can of course type !Jaspers at any time in our chat. That will bring up a link by which you can donate directly to Jaspers. All of that fundraising for Jaspers goes to support things like National Suicide Lifeline, Teen Lifeline, education services, things that deal with suicide recovery resources, counseling for dealing with the aftermath and things like that. And all of those go within your own communities where those monies are raised. It's a wonderful cause that we are very excited to be partnered with because, of course, they do all of this in close association with tabletop gaming. Another way that you can support Jasper's Game Day and get a little something for yourself is that you can type !Coffee in the chat. And there's a link where you can get yourself some Metade roast coffee. It's a wonderful medium roast Brazilian and Peruvian coffee that we've partnered with Initiative Coffee Company's Help Action to provide this branded coffee. And for every 12-ounce bag you purchase, $3 of the purchase price goes directly to support Jasper's Game Day. It is a delicious coffee. Big Bearded Nerd and myself both taste tested it and approved it to represent the brand. So check that out. Talon and Claw, makers of fine wooden dice accessories. I know Katie has many of the wooden dice vaults and the GM Lee exclusive Butts Hero Vault. I love it. I absolutely love that.
Favorite.
It's one of my favorite crossovers.
Where does one get the Butts Hero Vault?
You can type in !MTD Claw, as V has already done in the chat. And there is a direct link to the Etsy shop for Talon and Claw, where they're actually having a 10% off sale through the end of the year. Plus, if you use code MTD Claw at checkout, you will get yourself 10% off your entire order and help support the channel. So be sure to check that out. You can also check out myself, along with Anthony from Talon and Claw, Gary from FortNerd.com, and GM Travis on Sunday nights in our Shenanigans on the High Seas when we play our Sea of Thieves stream for 2 hours every Sunday night on the Talon and Claw Twitch channel. So be sure to check that out.
Very entertaining.
We have a lot of fun with it, and occasionally we've started branching out and we do a lot of other things that we try to tie in with fundraising events, with the Quest for the Cure, fighting Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and we all met because of Jasper's Game Day this year in May. So be sure to check that out. Shout out to D&D Beyond, who has granted us insider access. You can mouse over the stream at any time on your computer, and you can see the overlay with all of the characters that they will be playing. I think that is all of our usual sponsor information. The very last thing that I want to point out before we get started is that you matter. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you are going through, please understand, whether you believe it or not, that your presence on this earth makes a difference. You matter. As Jasper's Game Day likes to say, you are not a critical failure. We recognize that it can be difficult, and many people are not okay this time of year, coupled with the year that it is the time of. So we recognize that, and here's a little secret that's not so secret. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to struggle, but you don't have to do it alone. And it's okay to ask for help. That's why we've made it so that at any time, whether we are streaming or not, you can come into our chat and you can type !help. You'll also see this information occasionally show up across the bottom of the screen all throughout our stream and show up in the chat. By typing !help, you will see a series of phone numbers and text numbers and a URL through which you can, whether you're in the United States, Canada, or anywhere in the world, you can use one of those. I think about 4 people have added it in the chat right now, so thank you. But
I typoed it.
Good. But just know that you can go to any of those resources wherever you are in the world, and you can find a phone number or a text number or somewhere to take that first step, reach out and ask for help. It's okay. I try to be as open as I can about my own struggles with mental health, and I'm looking forward to in the new year, in the first week of the new year, I will be meeting with my therapist once again. I've made great progress this year with anxiety. Now we get to move on to depression. But
the 2020 double whammy.
Right.
Hey,
Right?
Jake, can I add one thing?
Sure.
Sometimes it is incredibly difficult for someone to reach out and ask for help. If you see a friend who's struggling, reach out to them, even if it goes unanswered or if they don't respond for whatever reason, it's going to make a difference to them. So when you know a friend is struggling, reach out and just let them know that they're thought of and loved.
That's great advice. It takes almost no effort to reach out to somebody, and sometimes it's as simple as just sharing the information with them. Hey, if you're struggling, you can call this number. Here's a place you can reach out for help. And they might not respond. I've done it. People haven't responded, but I'm glad to see that they're still around. So know that you are not a critical failure and you matter. With that, I think it's time for us to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my goodness, is it now?
All right, everybody. For those that may be new here or may not remember what we're doing, we are playing Harper's Tale, a wonderful book written and created by Matthew Corley and his daughter Harper Corley, thus called Harper's Tale. A wonderful collection of 10 interlinked adventures. We are following through on this over the course of the next several more weeks as we work through doing this as best we can without, I'm in no way trying to railroad them, but if you've ever heard the phrase herding cats, that's a lot what this group is like. And they literally have a giant corgi sorcerer with them. With that, let's do a quick little recap, just to bring everybody up to speed. The adventurers all traveled through some sort of interplanar gate, found themselves in the woods outside of the town of Grove, one Timothy Augustus's hometown, with the intent of Timothy sharing with his friends the annual harvest festival that takes place every autumn. Unfortunately, upon arriving in Grove, they found the streets uninhabited, unoccupied, with the exception of animals behaving strangely. Though not strange behavior was the awakened talking shrubbery that let Timothy sort of know what was going on, directing them ultimately to the household of a pair of sisters that were taking care of much of the town, including Timothy's own parents, all of whom had succumbed to a sleeping sickness that they were able to determine was caused by the town's well being somehow tainted. They learned this because the sisters had a ever full teacup through which they got all of their water. They went to investigate, went down into the well where they met a giant tortoise that offered some kindly advice. They continued on along their way where they met a strange man wrestling with a coat of, well, for all intents and purposes, it's a mink coat. But he was accompanied by a giant talking corgi. He wanted nothing to do with the coat. He wanted nothing to do with the adventurers. And so the coat became, I believe Rodney or Timothy has the coat now. The cloak of the mustelids or mustelidae, which will allow its user to, when threatened, to turn into a swarm of muskrats, basically, and GTFO. And then Sir Cheddar, the talking giant corgi sorcerer, joined them, who Rodney now happily rides upon. And the two have become inseparable. They met Gibber the goblin, who was very friendly and telling them kind of what was going on and what she saw in the form of somebody throwing a sack of something into the water and tainting it. They found residue of poisonous materials being put into the lake. They dodged the giant octopus and got their way out of the lake and on towards the next location, where they were heading towards a town by the name of, if anybody can think of it before I get there,
Princess Harbor.
Princess Harbor.
There you go.
Because Timothy kind of knows it, because it was an adventure to go there, and it was, because that's the big city.
Upon arriving,
it's not the big city.
It's a bigger city along the river.
Two rivers? One river? Two rivers?
It's one river. It's the Sludge River, as you recall.
That's right. It's got the sludge in it, as it's aptly named.
And so far, as you ventured in here, you found an old cabin. You went inside, you investigated, you found some strange alchemical writings, and you didn't find anything else threatening, except for the bushes that attacked you when you tried to walk in. There's a clip. I'll just point it at that. There's a clip that involves attacking bushes.
Can we please bring phrasing back into this?
Woodland phrasing?
And then you found, in the last thing you did was Rodney and Sir Cheddar took a look in the well, where they discovered a shining emerald that actually was an elemental gem containing a water elemental, which they gifted to Timothy. As of this moment, as you were standing there on the path just outside of the house, Teddy and BB, you hear distant sounds of screaming. Whether it's torturous screaming or screams of revelry, you are uncertain, but the wind shifts direction just a little bit, and Timothy, you smell the unmistakable smell of something burning. Adventurers,
sounds like they're playing my song.
what would you like to do?
Timothy, darling, is this normal for this area?
Well, I'm not usually in this town so much, but I just we should probably go check that out, because you heard. Was there any screaming?
Oh, they're screaming all right.
They're screaming.
Oh, then
yes.
we should go check this out. I've been help people.
All right, that's all I need to know. Let's go.
And Theodora will begin sashaying down the path toward the road that leads into town.
All right. So as you're sashaying along, coming closer to the town of Princess Harbor, you start to come into the edges of the town. There's where Grove had a lot of single-story thatched roof buildings, things like that. Princess Harbor has 2- and 3-story buildings. You see a lot of the exposed timbers and the stucco, tiled roofs. As you're coming just into one of the main areas where these buildings sort of rise up, you see that there are festive garlands of flowers. They're strung across the street from house to house. Bundles of greenery and flowers are sitting on the lintels. Bright ribbons and banners are decorating all of the poles of the front porches. Even the local pub, the Walrus and Seagull, is decorated in brilliant flowers and shrubbery. This community of Princess Harbor seems prepared to enjoy a celebration of some kind. You see that there are a number of icons depicting a stylized heroic figure. What you don't see are any revelers. You don't see any celebrants. You don't see any patrons in the bar. You don't see any civilians walking through. On one of the front porches, you see a stray dog that seems to have made itself comfortable. It's sort of basset hound eyes, sort of drooping. It yawns loudly, its tongue sort of lolling out. A few cats are scurrying around the street, but you don't see a single humanoid in sight.
Well, I thought you said you heard screams.
I thought I did hear
I
screams.
most definitely did, yes.
Well, I'm really glad that at least it's not just me, because if it was just me... ugh.
You hear from around the block a horrible screaming sound. It is not human.
Oh, that's it.
This is getting more and more interesting.
Should we
Let's
go
head
and,
that
take
way.
a look? Agreed.
Timothy gets his shield at the ready and looks heroic.
I don't know that a group of 4 people who run towards the screams is a terribly common thing, but anyway.
Let's go save some people.
Is
you
that
should
what we're doing?
You should come visit Carrion Creek sometime, Rodney. We've run towards screams most of the people run towards screams all the time. It's a terrible burden in hoop skirts to go running towards screaming.
We're gonna go save people, right? Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should go do that.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're going.
definitely.
Theodora will begin sashaying.
Already, Sir Cheddar is moving as fast as his, though much larger than normal. Stubby legs will go. Rodney along for the ride.
Oh my God!
Hey, I don't know what it is, but we want to help. And as you careen around the corner, you hear this horrible clattering sound of breaking wood and wood slamming against stone. You hear a frantic whinnying sound followed by a tremendous crash. As soon as you come around the corner, you see a man lying in the road. There appears to be a broken bottle, amber-colored bottle next to him. You see about 50 feet away, 2 horses are frantically pawing at the cobblestones as the wagon that they are attached to has somehow, the driver lost control. The wagon is in the large town well and is slowly pulling down on the horses and dragging them towards the well. If you don't help, the horses will be pulled down to their deaths in the well. What would you like to do?
Oh, well, we immediately go. Don't even hesitate a moment. Get my mace at the ready, and I start smashing at anything that's holding on to those horses. Got to save the horses.
Timothy, I'm going to start unbuckling and using the release from where the wood beam that goes between the horses and attaches to the wagon.
Smashing.
I'm going to point that out and begin untethering the reins and stuff.
Can I just slice the reins with my scimitar?
You could do that, yes. It's probably more
Just get
expedient.
closer every time.
Excuse me, just 1 minute, if you don't mind. I
So-
think this might be a little bit more effective.
Timothy has rushed in and is immediately starting to smack stuff.
Well, I'm the crossbeam that's going to hold on to the horses, and I'm just going to smash it because we got to save the horses.
Go ahead and make an attack roll against the
Okay.
the wooden beam.
Oh, it's going to be such a
Don't crit fail.
reasonable
main guy.
hit. Yeah, no, that's a really reasonable hit with my big mace, and I'm gonna hit it with a 22.
Oh, that's good.
That's reasonable.
You go rushing in and you slam your mace down, pushing your momentum behind it, and you hear the sound of the splintering wood. That's going to lower the DC for Teddy to begin working at the buckles and starting to pull this yoke apart. I do need you to make a strength athletics check, Teddy, because
Of course.
there's tension on these straps and buckles as you're trying to
Okay.
pull everything apart.
Oh,
Okay. That's a 14. Not the worst.
May I use my bonus action
Oh, absolutely.
and cast spiritual weapon to help me with the smashing?
Ooh.
I like it.
Okay.
All of
okay.
the smashing.
So okay, I cast
Actually-
spiritual weapon.
In light of the fact that V is going to be slashing at the reins with her scimitar, instead of me undoing the buckles, I'd like to go check on the guy who's down.
Okay. So, Timothy, go ahead and apply your bonus action attack on the reins.
Okay.
On the linkage.
I'm really sad that it's more accurate than I am, but that's okay. That was hopefully the only natural one that I get of the evening. But
Domain die.
Google.
Domain die.
oh,
Just
domain die!
You go
Let's
hit
use
them
the
horses.
domain die!
Domain die.
Right? Do not.
Yes. Oh, let's do that.
Honey, please.
That's much better at a 15.
Okay.
Yay!
Okay, that's exactly what you needed as you strike it again in the same spot, breaking the yoke in two. There's still several other places where these straps are connected, but they're no longer as difficult. So, BB, go ahead and make a swing with your scimitar. It's going to be a lot easier because of the work Timothy's done to get in there.
Okay, well, that's going to be a 19 to hit.
That is going to hit. So as you rush in there, you bring your scimitar down. I imagine you almost sliding in on the other side of where Timothy is. And just as he breaks the yoke apart, you move your scimitar in, kind of weaving it in through, and just in a single slashing movement, you slice through the remaining leather parts of the reins. There's a cacophonous thunder of the horse's hooves, and then immediately followed by a dexterity saving throw from both BB and Timothy as the horses are bolting, and they still have pieces of the yoke attached to them.
That's going to be a dirty 20.
That's also going to be a dirty 20 because you know why?
Oh,
The
nice!
yoke's on them.
Oh, I love you so much.
See, I'm one of those DMs that absolutely loves puns, so I'm not going to
Yes.
groan at that.
I groan, but I love.
So you both, immediately as the horses release, you just instinctively drop down to the ground, and all of the flailing bits of reins and yoke go kind of flying akimbo, and the horses take off in a clatter down the street. At some point, somebody will have to go find them. It doesn't necessarily have to be you, but there is a terrible crashing sound as the wagon itself does fall down into the well, breaking apart as it does so. But hopefully whatever was on it is not such a big issue as dead horses would be in the well. Teddy, you've run over to this unconscious individual lying on the ground. What are you doing to help him?
Is he just unconscious, or is he like bloody and looking all messed up?
He doesn't look terribly messed up. He's got some blood running from a bump on the side of his head. It looks like whenever what happened, must have thrown him from the carriage, and he probably racked his head on the cobblestones. He's sort of groggy, kind of.
Come on now, wake up. Pat, 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 pat. She'll kind of gently smack each side of his face.
When you say gently,
Do you
Teddy
understand
gently.
the meaning of this?
Is this a Teddy gently or a...
This is a Teddy gently.
He,
Oh, dear God.
as you do this, he sort of. What druid?
Druid.
The hat shit homestead. It's off that way.
She's gonna pull him close and just smell his breath.
I think he's bladdered, if I'm honest.
You just get this strong whiff of a very fruity concoction.
Does it smell like alcohol?
You don't smell alcohol.
Okay.
But what you do smell is something that has this sort of It's an astringent scent that you recognize from your investigations down in the cave
Yes.
when you found the materials that were most likely used to poison the lake.
Got it. Thank you ever so much for your assistance. And she just kind of unceremoniously drops him and then turns around to the group. We're needed down this way.
We saved horses.
Yes, we're going to go save some people too, I think.
Teddy, is he all right?
Oh, he's fine.
You look over and you see where there's this broken amber bottle. He's picked up what is intact, the neck of the bottle, like the top half of the bottle. And he just says, "Here's," and appears to be attempting to drink from the broken half bottle.
Oh, he's fine.
He's fine. He smells like what we found down in the well. I think we need to go this way. He said something about a druid.
Well, definitely let's go then, because let's just say that speaks my language.
Indeed. And she'll begin sashaying in the direction he pointed.
Cheddar, we can't drink. No, please don't lap that up. We should go with them.
As you say that, Cheddar is literally like tongue out, about to lap up. Are you certain? I hate to let good drink and food go to waste.
I mean,
Mr. Sir Cheddar, no.
It smells like the things we found down in the well. I wouldn't drink it if I were you.
it didn't go well for them. And you're so much more useful when you're conscious, you know what I mean?
Oh, right.
I think so too.
Whatever it is, it's certainly going off a bit. And he turns around in a complete 360 and then just kind of scrapes his back feet toward, like he's pushing a little bit of dirt onto it.
Yes.
Right.
I love it.
Oh, he's funny.
And begins to trot off with Rodney after the sashaying Teddy. As you all continue moving through the decorated streets, you continue to see these floral decorations everywhere, and you also continue to see a complete lack of anyone.
I thought you said there were people to be saving up here. I mean, I'm glad we saved the horses. Don't misunderstand.
Well, granted, I'm making an assumption because that's where this gentleman came from. But I think it's a fair assumption.
Can we try and figure out if there's people here?
Well, that's what we're doing, dear.
Okay, hold on one moment.
Oh.
People!
Oh.
We're here to save you! Is there anybody here?
There goes any chance of
No element of surprise whatsoever.
none.
And this
It's
just
gone.
happens to occur as you walk around the corner and you see that there's this corner bistro that has about a dozen tables and chairs that are set up outside. And you see that on all of the tables, there's food, flowers. You also see that there are indeed about 30 people here, and all of them appear to be passed out at the tables.
Now, granted, I have seen this before, but
As you come around the
This is something
corner
else.
and Timothy begins shouting, one person just sort of goes, "Right, you mind shutting that mouth of yours?"
Oh, no, that's just rude.
And their head collapses back on the table.
yeah, see, this is where Sebastian would come in handy. He usually takes care
Agreed.
of this.
There's something to be said for a good doorman.
And he's
Is
the
this the
best.
same sort of sleeping thing that we saw
To
back
say,
in?
can we?
It was, yeah.
We sniff
Can
the
I have
food and
medicine
drink?
check him?
Yeah, go ahead. You can go up into this group of people and absolutely.
I'm going to Mr. Slurry Blurry. And that is going to be a 16.
This person and I'll say you're able to sort of work your way through the crowd, checking on more than one person once you kind of confirm with this individual. They all appear to be exhibiting signs of extreme inebriation, but you do not smell that any of them have imbibed alcohol. You only smell that fruity liquid with that sort of astringent, almost acidic following to it. Food has barely been touched. It looks like everybody at these tables has either bottles or glasses with this thick red liquid. You can actually see some of the glasses are tipped over, and like a wine glass, and there's a little bit of a pool of this thick red liquid still sitting in it.
Theodora is going to inspect the food and sniff at that. Is any of it smell like it's been doused with that astringent smell?
The food smells delicious, fresh. Some of it's still very warm.
She fixes herself a plate.
Well, hold on, Teddy. Hey, Mr. Sir Cheddar, and also Mr. Rodney. Could you figure out, sniff around to see if any of this has the same smell as the things that we found in the cave underwater with the big octopus and the.
I was thinking a similar thing, but Sir Cheddar seems to be the one with the nose being a.
Oh, yeah, that's
very
good.
Oh, the food smelled fine. I checked it.
Oh,
well, but
Teddy.
could we have Mr. Sir Cheddar find out? And
Sir
Well, I wasn't
Cheddar
ta- is that
has
up to you,
already
yeah?
got like half of a game hen in his mouth and is
Oh,
like,
no.
"Right?
Okay, I
Food's
want
good."
to. Oh,
Someone went to all the trouble to make this feast. It would be a shame if nobody enjoyed it.
I like
unless
the
the
way you
feast was
think.
intentionally spacked.
I checked it.
it'd probably both be all right.
Would you mind carrying a couple loads on? Well, actually, no. If Cheddar's eating, that means we're
No.
gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
what about
Oh,
what
crap.
about the red liquid, Mr. Sir Cheddar?
Oh, don't touch that.
Oh, don't touch that.
Okay.
That smells like it's going off like that other stuff.
Well, should we take a sample of it?
Oh.
That's not a bad idea.
Right.
Yeah, why don't you do that? And I'm gonna go. We're at what are we, like a coffee house or something?
It's a bistro.
A bistro. Great. Well, I think I want to go inside and sort of have a look at the storage, wherever they're serving this drink from.
Yes, let's take a look at the kitchen and the pantry.
Yeah. See if we can
Everybody
figure out
go
where it
ahead and
came
make
from.
me a perception or investigation check. Before you even go inside, just out here where all the revelries appears to have happened.
Just garbage at all of that.
17.
Oh, that's not terrible.
30, 20 for investigation.
All right.
21 for perception.
11 perception.
Uh,
Or not 11, 17
I
perception.
should say
Mathing. 11 plus the 6.
17
numbers.
for me as well, and a 14 for Sir Cheddar.
Sir Cheddar has advantage on any checks that involve smell.
Yeah, the other one was a 9.
Ooh.
So.
Okay. So pretty much everybody but Cheddar and well, pretty much Cheddar actually doesn't notice. He's too busy just eating whatever he
He's
can.
very hungry. We have been working him hard.
I'm absolutely famished. This is the best I've eaten in ages.
It really is. This is amazing.
Well, eat up, you two. We've got this covered. It's no worries.
And I'll say one of the reasons you notice this is as Cheddar's sort of pushing his way through. He's quite large for any dog that's been enlarged like this. And with his little corgi butt kind of shifting back and forth as he's moving through, he's inadvertently pushing tables aside, and he nudges a barrel that kind of knocks up against another barrel, and you realize there's about a half a dozen of these large wooden barrels that are sitting around this area, and a couple of them have been set up on stands and have been tapped, and you can even see the telltale pool of this red liquid underneath the tap.
Timothy, do you know, is this a sort of festival time for this village or something? I know you're not from here, but you're from nearby. Is it like, I know we were coming home for a harvest festival or something with you, but do they do that up here too? Is that
Well,
what
I
this
mean,
is?
every town has their own sort of celebrations to celebrate the passing of the seasons and various things that happen. This may be a history. How much of this do I actually know?
So actually, though you don't seem to recall this, you the player, you did do a history check on Princess Harbor when you knew that's where you were heading. And you knew that while they don't, because they're not so much a farming community, they don't do the harvest festival. They participate in a in a harvest, I just lost the name of it. It completely left my head. Where did it go? Oh,
In
there.
the thing with the
Homepage.
stuff.
It walks
Home
away.
page. It's
I will make this up if I need to.
no, I have it here.
Oh dear.
Quick, find it.
Hurry!
Well, as
It
they're a sea
is
town,
a-
there's the flock of the
Oh my
herons that
God.
come
It
in.
is recognition
seagulls.
of the patron saint of Prince's Harbor,
Bubba.
Saint Isaac.
So this is the feast of Saint Isaac, the patron saint
All
of Prince's Harbor. And Saint
Ah.
Isaac is well known for his single-handed defense of the town against a marauding band of flying fish.
That may or may not be true.
These people are so
Colorful.
Right. Well, anyway, where do we think this came from? I mean, was this what the gentleman who was bladdered and crushed his cart? Was this where he was bringing, or what do
Are
we
there any
think?
insignias or anything on these barrels?
Serial numbers.
brand mark,
There's
a
no
logo?
there's no serial numbers, but there is on the lid
Gee.
a brand that's been placed on there.
That'll do.
A branding of Joy Fruit. And there is an insignia beneath that. It looks like it may be a sigil formed by somebody's signature, though it's not one that anybody recognizes.
Joy fruit, you said, yeah?
Correct.
Is there any sort of town library that we would know about or that we could find out about? Because this sounds like it needs some research done.
You could certainly begin moving towards the town center where you imagine the library is probably located.
Still
We'll
on
take
the
a
edge.
If I
sample of
may,
the
if
gooey
I may
stuff
make a
and-
suggestion, Timothy, check the business registration office.
What's a
Town
a
hall,
business?
Town hall, darling.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well-
a company insignia of some sort. If you want to figure out who is running that company, it would be registered there.
Well, that just makes sense.
I know business.
So, Cheddar, you're all right to go on, or do you want to stick around and have a bit more of a nosh?
As you say this, you see that his head looks like he's sort of
My
pulling on something.
God.
And he turns around and you see that hanging out of his mouth are the last 4 links of a long trail of sausages, cartoon style. He's just sort of that last bit of bangers really did me in. I should be good for a bit.
So, Cheddar,
Scooby-Doo
every
his way into our
time we
heart.
experience something new with you, I get more and more impressed. That was a joy to watch, my friend.
Right, if you reach into that pocket right behind my collar, there's a few coins in there. Maybe drop a gold piece or two.
Oh, yeah.
Just in payment for everything I ate. It was quite a bit.
Yeah.
Better make
I'll-
it 3.
What? How did I not search it? This is so full of. Never mind. It doesn't matter. I'll toss a few coins down. There are so you're a dog. You're so rich and so. Who are you? It doesn't matter.
And now all Rodney can hear is the jingling of coin that he didn't notice.
With every ching 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 ching.
Rodney, are you okay there, darling?
Yeah, everything's great. Thanks.
So you begin.
Your eye is twitching something fierce.
It's all right. It happens when I'm
Happy.
totally at ease and not at all thinking about something.
Oh, what are you definitely not thinking about there, Mr. Rodney?
Onward to save the people.
Yes, let's save the people.
Works
He's
every
so
time.
altruistic.
Honestly, dearest soul in the world.
Of course.
As you begin moving towards the center of town, you can't help but notice after about just 3 or 4 minutes, you hear this low buzzing murmur of voices. And you look behind you and you realize there's about a dozen or so people just sort of ambling along behind you, kind of just murmuring lightly. And some of them are holding bottles of this liquid. All of them seem to be shuffling in a bit of a stupor. Just about the time you notice these people, you hear from a shop immediately to your right, you hear the sound of a door bang open, and you hear a woman's voice yell out, "Hey, you! You, stay away! I'll show you! Wait, Timothy Augustus, is that you?" And you recognize this woman as somebody who used to live in Grove, but she went on to Princess Harbor, where she felt she could do better in her bakery business. This is Maureen Elizabeth.
Oh, Maureen.
Miss Maureen.
Well, Timothy Augustus has always been brave. Listen, I ain't seen you in a while, so this is a bit much to ask. But do you have my back?
Do I have you?
Do you got my
your
back?
Do you need it scratched?
Right, I'll take that as a yes.
Yes,
And she
we've
reaches
got your
past
back.
you.
Absolutely, we do. Yeah.
She reaches past you and she slugs the nearest person.
I like this, Miss Maureen.
I don't remember Miss Maureen being quite this rough and tumble.
As you look, she has on her aprons that she's wearing, kind of tucked into the pockets, she's got about 4 or 5 loaves of French bread. And she just pulls one of these out and just bashes it, breaks it over somebody's head. She's going to town, and all of a sudden the murmurs turn to yells as the crowd seems to double. People begin pouring out of buildings, and you all find yourselves in the middle of a street brawl. I need you all to roll for initiative.
Well, now it's a party.
Okay, I'll take one. You take one. She'll take one. And Miss Maureen can take a baker's dozen.
I think she already has.
And I will get those numbles. Numbles?
I like the numbers. Those are good
I'll get your
numbers.
numbles in a moment.
Excellent.
And we're just gonna stick with Sir Cheddar going on your turn, Rodney.
Great.
Unless you would like to roll a separate initiative for him.
No, that's okay. It's easier to keep track of. That's no problem.
And
My-
then
The one thing I do better than Sir Cheddar is initiative.
so well, I'm not going to go into the details of it. One of the things I absolutely love that they did in this particular encounter is I have a stat block for a bar brawl.
Oh,
yes.
That
That's
is
like cobble
awesome.
presses. Yeah.
The bar brawl
That's
has
a good
its
one.
own statistics
Yep.
and entity
Yes.
in this.
That's a cold ball press thing that I love to use.
So
That's
you will be
awesome.
fighting a bar brawl or a street brawl in this case.
Sweet.
So I need to roll my dice, or roll my new Todd Stashwick dice. Maybe I won't do that.
Oh, I
again.
just ordered some.
And then
All right, BB, what'd you get?
I got a 13. Sorry, I was about to read someone else's.
Teddy,
A mighty 7.
Timothy,
17.
Rodney, and Sir Cheddar.
Going on 16.
Teddy, what's your dexterity bonus?
+1.
All right, do me a roll off.
'Kay.
Because you tied with the street fight.
Oh, that's what I was doing.
I win.
Did you get a 20?
What'd you get?
I rolled a 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Sweet.
All right, so here's going to be the fight order. Timothy, you're going to go first, followed by Rodney and Sir Cheddar, followed by BB, followed by Teddy, and then the street brawl will act.
How big is the street ball and just in brawl in terms of, radius of people?
I'm going to say that this is pretty much taking up, let's see, it is... I'm going to say it's taking up about a 30-foot diameter
okay.
area in the street.
Crud.
Yeah.
Woo.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold
It's
on.
like-
Nope. If I follow the true rules, because this is listed as a huge swarm, I
Oh,
believe that's
no.
I believe that's only 20 feet.
Calm emotions.
Is that right?
I think it's 15.
15 is huge. Large is 10.
Either way, calm emotions.
Makes it easy.
Psychomancer.
Show off.
Nope, that gives us a minute to get out of here.
I was gonna say, well, let's hold on too, because I think they make us saves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
There's
do.
things that happen.
All right, I cast calm emotion on that because we can talk it out and figure out what this crowd's all about.
Okay. I just had
It's
to
a 14
check.
save.
Check that. And is that a charming effect?
It is a charming effect.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'd like to think I'm quite charming.
You are the most charming creature I have ever met, dear.
As you stand, what does this look like as you attempt to calm the emotions of the crowd? How would you go about doing that?
I'm waving my shield around and maybe my mace to try and like conduct him. If you could imagine a really clumsy like 76 trombone type situation. Hey, everybody, we're gonna calm down now. We're just gonna calm down.
About the only response you get is the nearest person, a toothless older woman that turns and looks at you and goes, "Calm this down."
Yes.
It
Really?
is not effective.
Okay, well then we're gonna use my bonus action, and that's where spiritual weapon happens.
All right.
And we're gonna make sure that's cast that it materializes right by the woman who says calm this down.
All right.
You mean my hero?
Yeah.
Is she the wind beneath your wings?
Well, yeah. So well, we're just gonna cast that, and we're gonna use it to attack her.
Okay, you're gonna try a different form of calm emotions. Go ahead and make an attack.
That's an 18 to hit.
What? So spiritual weapon, I believe, does force damage, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
It does. Yes.
And it was a what to hit?
It was an 18 to hit.
Yep, that's gonna hit. What is your spiritual weapon?
Yeah.
Well, it's a really nice mace. It's the kind of mace with some filigree that I saw in a catalog once, and it's nothing I can afford on a teacher's salary.
Well, it's absolute slow motion upside her head in response to her telling you to calm this. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
Well, that's 9 damage. Oh, excuse me, 10.
All right. That was action, bonus action. Anything else you want to do?
Make sure I've got my shield at. Where are we standing in things?
Right in the middle.
Surrounded.
You're completely surrounded. They sort of came out of the woodwork.
All right.
Sir Cheddar and Rodney at this point are kind of like when a horse gets surrounded and is just kind of moving in circles. And it's Sir Rodney or Rodney and Sir Cheddar's turn.
Amazing. So we are surrounded. We saw the calm emotions, the spell, Timothy's one of Timothy's favorite spells, just not work. So Sir Cheddar is going to start us off because we've discussed this, Sir Cheddar and I, since we began the mounted combatant relationship. So Sir Cheddar is going to twin the spell enlarge reduce and enlarge both of us.
Oh my.
So Sir Cheddar will be a large pupper and I will be a medium gnome riding upon said large pupper.
All of a sudden, Sir Cheddar and Rodney look like they just came from the front lines on a war corgi.
And he has 10 sorcery points, and I need to use 2 of those. And there we go. Great. And so once we are bigger, then Rod.
That is a first level spell, yes.
I think it's a second level spell, which yes.
Nonetheless, it's a wild
thing.
magic surge.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Let's see.
You look like
A
giant
potential
potted
for a
plants.
wild magic surge.
Right. That was a 12 for Sir Cheddar, but
Okay.
don't worry, I'll be casting a leveled spell as well. So
I love
so
having
once,
two wild sorcerers.
It's nutty.
Not many DMs would say that. I'm saying it. I love that we have
Yeah,
two wild
truly.
sorcerers
Truly. So
controlled by the same person.
Even
So
better.
Sir Cheddar is bigger. I am bigger. Pip is not bigger.
Oh, no.
So I
Save
like
the
I
chinchilla.
right. So like mini chinchilla in oversized gnome hand, and I whisper something to Pip. And let me see if this is a bonus action or action. This is a bonus action. Excellent. And I think I can do it. Yes, until as an action. Great. So I whisper something to Pip, and Pip does that thing where he the gears sort of shakily get him up on his hind legs. His head drops forward, his jaw drops open, and I cast Dragon's Breath on Pip.
Oh
Oh
my.
my god.
So then holding Pip out in front of me, sort of like I don't even know what, like I've got a compass that I'm just holding flat and sort of moving back and forth. Pip begins to scream lightning at the surrounding crew.
I just
I
picture
love this
it as,
chinchilla so much.
as you're giving him these, he's doing these little transformations. It's almost like a lighter, like you're trying to start a lighter. It's just,
Yes.
and then, and then crackling.
God.
I love it.
Oh my god.
Yes to all of that.
Remember how proud we were of not having killed anybody?
Well,
I know. I made
we
the
just
mistake.
gotta soften them up, and then I'll try and put them to sleep later.
We're just tenderizing them.
We're just following directions. They said calm this, so we did.
So we did.
That's
So
true.
we did. I will now roll for my surge. Not that I'm a wild magic source. Oh, it's another 12. Look at that.
The dragon's breath then is a dex save. Yeah?
Dexterity save. It is, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try a different die. These lovely baby's breath dice my daughter bought me for Christmas.
Aww.
Natural 20.
Oh, that'll do.
Oh.
Okay, I do think
God
they still
bless
take
your
half,
daughter.
though. Yeah, half as much
Reminder:
on a
you can
successful
use
save.
two
I was
domain
gonna
dice
say-
to make me
Oh,
reroll.
Domain and-
yeah,
You can
do that.
Yeah,
Let's
did we
move
not
I
things
mean,
do
not to
along.
make you
them.
spend your
Reroll
domain
them.
dice, but
Emotions.
this lovely audience gifted them to you.
I know, we must use
We
them.
did get one more, by the way, because Hawkmere subbed.
Hawkmere
Yeah.
subbed. I got
Aw.
that one, and we got 500 bits from Tamiko as well.
Aw.
The
Thank
new
you.
roll
Tamiko.
for
so
this
much.
dexterity saving throw is a 6.
Oh, that's
See?
better. All right.
So lightning
now
breath
they'll
will
take-
dance across the crowd, causing many people to involuntarily dance.
Causing 11 lightning damage.
Okay. A few people are singed. And at this point, the old toothless woman has her hat. It looks very much like Marv in Home Alone. It's kind of Home Alone 2. It's singed. And
I feel bad hurting them. I know they're under the influence, but we got to soften them up a bit, you know.
Sir Cheddar now just kind of leans back over his shoulder to you and says, "Right, this is not something you need to worry about right now."
That's a fair point, Sir Cheddar. Oh, is this a voice thing we're doing? I'm having a great time. That's a fair point, Sir Cheddar. This is fun.
Um,
I can't, and I love.
Teddy just looks at BB.
BB, you're up next. This is the most fun I've had beating up townsfolk. I'll just say that.
Well, they asked us to do it.
They did.
Keep telling yourselves that.
Well,
So
It'll make it
Baby,
so much easier to sleep at night.
Baby just kind of rolls her eyes back at Teddy, and she lets out this big sigh, and then she squares her shoulders, turns around so that her back is to everyone else, but she's facing out into the crowd that's like surrounding her on her side, and she's gonna clap her hands, going, "That's enough, and you need to simmer down." And she's gonna cast Thunder Wave.
Oh,
woo. Get him back. Get him back.
That's kind of the hope. Push him back, way back. So that's a con save.
Yay, us.
Against a 14.
Right.
And I know how to use my domain die.
I'm going to use.
Is it con or strength?
Han for Thunderwave.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking it was strength.
On that's a
That's for-
16 on the save.
Oh no, that's for
Not if you re-roll.
lightning lure.
Well, alrighty then. Let
Not
me,
if you use those lovely domain die that we just got tonight.
Yep. Let
darling.
me fix this total for you. And then
Oh, come on.
boom, boom, boom. All right.
Whoa.
So we'll re-roll that using the same die.
No.
That is now an 18.
Oh, fine.
Be that way.
They still take half damage and aren't pushed,
I know,
right?
I know. I was hoping for more.
They aren't pushed.
Oh, but my
They
dice
take
are being
damage.
very nice to me, and that's going to be
That's
a
nice.
14, so we're good. So they'll take 7.
Okay. Yeah, you still managed to blow a few people over and knock a couple heads together.
Dust off my skirts.
As you can't help but notice that one of the people that gets kind of hammered by your thunder blow is there's this you see this what appears to be a priest wearing priestly vestments. He has a very large some kind of very large holy book, and he is just swinging this book in the name of the Lord by the light of the thunder, and he's hitting people upside the head with it. And
Sorry, let's start with him.
you hit him with a thunder wave.
Oh, then she's gonna... Honey, I pray to
We
a
just-
different god.
Well, it seems like he just prays to whatever god sort of suits him at the moment. We've got Lathander, we've got Tom.
Teddy, you are up.
Theodora will walk
Theodora.
forward, kind of place her hands like this,
Oh, God's
And-
duck.
Uh-oh. Get away.
very loudly. Ladies and gentlemen of the assembly, you have seen the first things my friends have opted to do before they become desperate. I am not about to attack you, but I am about to give you some of the best advice you will ever receive in the entirety of your lives, and that is to sit down and be silent. And I would
Well,
like
she's
to
head
intimidate the
mistress.
crowd.
I don't know if I want this to work or not work because it's going to be amazing either way.
Okay.
Oh, I
So
love this game.
that is going to
26.
be.
Oh,
You got what?
6.
Did you say 26?
she
Yes,
said twice now.
I rolled a 19.
I'm gonna roll my die on opposed charisma check, but like, what's the point?
I mean,
So here's what happens. About
story.
half of the crowd,
Can't wait.
those closest to you,
Hmm.
immediately as you start speaking, you see people like one guy nearby is just kind of pummeling on somebody. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What's that she's saying? And this seems to be happening all around the crowd as people are listening to your words. And as you say that, you see about 4 or 5 people legitimately just sit down and shut up. The other half of the crowd that had sort of stopped hitting whoever they were hitting, they get sucker punched by the other half of the crowd that wasn't paying attention. I am going to put the street brawl at a disadvantage because of your successful intimidation. You've knocked some of them out, so I'm going to do a couple other little things here to deal with that. You didn't succeed in getting the entire crowd intimidated, but to a certain extent, you had a significant effect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and for my bonus action, I am going to... Where's the woman with the singed hat? Is she chill or is she still fighting?
Lady.
Oh, let's see.
Was she the one I hit with my spiritual weapon?
yep.
Okay, roll me any die, evens or odds. I've determined the status that determines if she's chill.
Rolled a 1.
I rolled a 5. She's chill.
Okay.
Okay.
She's got.
In that case, I want to look for the biggest, strongest, meanest looking person in the assembly and I cast Hex on them.
Oh,
Okay.
You have gained my attention.
All right.
Want to do that?
It is now the Street Brawl's
good.
turn.
well,
Oh, dear
that's not
Lord.
great news, really.
Mm-mm.
So the Street Brawl is going to do a couple of things. As people, you've noticed amongst the fists that are being thrown, there are also broken bottles that are being used. There's occasional chairs and bar stools being broken over people's heads.
Oh.
And you suddenly notice somebody comes charging out of one of the nearby pubs, and they're holding a fistful of darts. They hand one to their buddy, and they just start chucking darts at people. And you guys are each going to get attacked by darts. As somebody's
If Sir
literally
Cheddar is
throwing
attacked, I
darts
am
at you.
redirecting the attack towards me.
Say
Because
that
I can
again?
do that with my feet. I said if Sir Cheddar is attacked, I am redirecting the attack
Yes,
to me.
protect Sir Cheddar at all costs.
Pretty sure he has more hit points than I do, and I don't care.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to see
Started
there's
out so
5 of
noble.
you. Sir Cheddar being 5. Who gets attacked?
All right.
Rodney, you're getting the first attack.
Yeah, bring it on. I don't
that
have
is a
shield. It's
16
fine.
to hit.
That absolutely hits.
Mm.
The second attack is going for Rodney. You're getting attacked again.
Yeah, bring it on.
That is only a 5.
That doesn't hit. It's a miracle.
So this kid that comes out, and I say kid, he looks like he's human, maybe 17 years old.
Oh,
Had no
Lord.
business being in the pub in the first place.
Well,
He throws a literal fistful of darts at you. And they just you take 5, 6, 7, 9 points of piercing damage as some darts are sticking. You also see around you a handful of other people. You see the priest, in fact, had just hit somebody upside the head with his book, and then he looks and there's a dart in the back of his hand that he's looking at, kind of confused. A couple other people with darts sticking out of their shoulders or arms.
Oh, I forgot.
I had a castmate get one stuck in their ankle once because it bounced off a table and someone else before lodging in his ankle. It's horrible. It hurt a lot, so this is
Oh.
legit.
dying.
So they are also going to use their liquid courage bonus action ability. As several of them,
Yes.
Legitimate bonus action.
It is, and it's
it is
lovely.
a bonus action. As
It's
several
a
of them
wonderful thing.
are grabbing
you,
bottles
Daniel?
of whatever they have on hand, and they are going to get
Drunk.
6
Oh, I broke
temp
Katie. I'm so sorry.
HP, 6 temp HP as they get some liquid courage. And we move on to back to the top of the order. Timothy, it is your turn.
Oh,
All right. So where am I? Right near the priest, or where am I in
You
all
can
of this?
be.
Oh no, I don't like teachers who
If you
abuse
wanna be.
their position of trust.
Oh no.
Oh,
You-
no.
No, you're abusing your position of trust, and I don't like it. And so I cast Shield of Faith on myself. And I just go wading in, mace at the ready. I'm swinging for the cheap seats.
Oh, boy.
you pissed off Timothy.
You're an authority figure. Shame, shame, shame.
I'm going to use a domain die.
Yes, do.
Desperation in his voice.
Okay.
My domain die, please.
Did you roll another one?
Almost.
Oh no.
Honey.
How about a 17 to hit?
All right.
17
That's
hits.
respectable.
All right. No, there we go. We're going to. Oh, and that's a 12 grand slam damage right there.
All in all, just with that one hit alone, and combined efforts of everybody, you see that this crowd is already losing a lot of its initial oomph. Even with the boost of liquid courage, this crowd looks to be at about half capacity right now. You still have your
Okay,
bonus
well-
action.
Well, yeah, we're gonna. We used.
I assume you're doing non-lethal damage.
At this point, I'm not entirely sure because he abused his position of trust.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Oh my.
Timothy's gone dark.
I'm into it.
I am so proud.
No, there's a power differential at work, and you're abusing it.
Timothy, I don't know that I've ever been so proud of you.
And yet, who else looks like they're in a position of authority and needs to be taken down a peg?
Well,
The hat lady.
the largest person, the hat lady's sitting quietly with singed hat and eyebrows. Well, one eyebrow. The very large individual that that Theodora targeted with the hex.
And you made Teddy mad.
You see as they turn around, and they are about 6.5 feet tall, broad-shouldered.
Timothy, Augustus,
Look like some kind of farmer, but you can't help but notice the sash that they wear that conveniently says mayor on it.
I'm in a moment of righteous fury, and that's the mayor, and this is not right. And I rolled a 24 to hit.
That's a hit.
And that's 9 force damage right in the sternum.
I love that. In this, like, immediately following Teddy saying how incredibly proud she was, you have now instantly disappointed her.
We have an odd relationship.
I do. But I'll burn the world for him.
Rodney and Sir Cheddar.
Sir Cheddar has just such a very good boy spell list. So I think he will feel the blood dripping from the dart wound on his companion, and will cast a healing word upon Rodney, because 9 may not be a lot to some, but so he'll do it at, what's his bonus? Is a charisma, so that means his bonus is a +3. He'll do it at a 2nd level for me.
All right. And roll that D20 Wild Surge die.
Yes, let me roll the D4's roll. Ooh, that's a nice roll. Well, that's exactly 9, so well done, Sir Cheddar. And this
Rodney's
one is...
Boom, boom,
oh.
boom, pulling darts out of him.
Well, just make sure you we'll time this right, because I don't want, if I pull it out and then it sort of sits for a minute, it's be horrible. All right. The Wild Magic Surge was a 10.
Okay.
And then I am going to, looking around, seeing that between the intimidation and the people we have hit very hard, I'm going to try a 2nd level sleep on who's left.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. What is that? 78, right? Oh, come on. Oh, I don't know, 5, and you have an additional 2d8. So yes, 78. So Pip, who has been just sort of screaming lightning this whole time, I sort of pat him on the head, and he like transformers back into like on all fours chinchilla, and then just starts, this time his mouth is closed, but he starts to emit, let's say, a sort of like music box lullaby.
Oh, no. Go to sleep.
Exactly. What did
It's probably got it
say?
to like.
That is a fair number of, okay, there's a few with the 1s and the 8s and so that's 6, 29, 32.
As this music starts to play through the crowd, you see all around as people are and you see people start hitting with a little bit more or a little bit less ferocity, and the music is sort of wafting its way through the crowd. I'm just checking something on the Okay. You see probably, I'm going to say that teenager, the same teenager that hit you with the darts, as he's gathering up from another basket full. He's got an assortment of darts, and he's looking at them, and he's holding them in his fist like this, and he just kind of wavers and falls down in such a way that he kind of punctures himself in the arm with some of these. Overall, the street brawl as a whole doesn't seem to be affected, but you did take somebody out.
Okay, fair enough. I'm glad I got him.
And
so
did you roll your wild die on that?
Oh no, I did not for me.
Why?
That face. I don't know what to think of that face.
I know, I'm deciphering if that's a 1.
Are you a potted plant?
It's percentile that I roll if I surge, right?
Yes, it is a percentile, and I have the chart at the ready.
22. Funny enough, for as hard as Rodney tries to cover up the fact that he's a sorcerer, I don't think he's ever, in any of the games I've ever taken him to, I don't think he's ever surged.
He has.
Oh!
Well, and
He's a
fortunately
grown-up
for Rodney
now.
in that ongoing deception, what happens is very internal and subtle.
Oh, bless.
The creatures have disadvantage on saving throws against the next spell you cast within the next minute.
Oh,
that
we better
involves a
make it
saving
good,
throw.
eh?
So there's no outward appearance of a surge.
I do feel it happening though, and I just grab Sir Cheddar, like the scruff of Sir Cheddar's giant neck, like for dear life, and just like whisper into his ear, like very quietly, "Oh, it's happening."
Right.
Mazel tov.
His feet just kind of brace as he kind of moves himself just naturally, changes his body position in a way that creates a bit of protection for you. Not just being a corgi, being a dog, but also being a wild sorcerer. He knows exactly what you're talking about, and is kind of acting as a bit of a support animal in this sense, a support companion, if you will. He knows exactly what you're talking about.
I love this relationship so much.
This is so pure and must be protected.
I know.
So I took mounted combatant. I can go, but he can't.
I love it too much.
All right, BB.
Okay, so I had a mouse. Where'd my mouse go? Yeah, I'm going to look into the crowd, and is the big guy still running around, Mr. Mayor?
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm going to take a pointed look at Mr. Mayor and point my finger at him, and mind you, it's very well manicured. You need to chill out. And I'm going to cast Frostbite at him.
Okay.
That's another con save.
Oh, by the way, he has disadvantage on con checks.
Well, he has
My dice.
Because I'm picking con.
He has a +1 to Constitution, which means his saving throw was a 6.
Well, that's lovely because that means it's going to affect him. And because I use my crafting use dice, I'm seeing my lovely logo. So that is 6 points cold damage. And he has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll that he makes.
Well, BB, as you strike the mayor with this frostbite, and he gets this cold energy that hits him, he just kind of looks stunned as he looks down at where you hit him with this just center mass. He's such a big guy. And he just looks down and he goes, "Ow." And he looks around, and you notice all around the crowd has stopped throwing punches. The crowd seems to be, ultimately, you have done enough to the crowd to subdue them. As people stop hitting each other, they stop trying to attack you, and the mayor just looks down. "Oh dear. I don't feel so well.
Really?
And he falls
Really?
over.
You two, what am I going to do with you? I never get to have any fun.
Teddy, calm down.
No. You took
They
all
were
the
abusing a
fun.
position of trust.
I was working on it.
Timothy, right next to you on the ground sits this priest holding this book. And he's sitting on the ground, and many pages of the book have come loose from the binding. The binding is broken, and he's just holding it in his lap, and he's weeping. My life's work. Years of searching and research and struggle, and I ruined it in a street ball. What have I done?
I sit down immediately next to him and pat him on the shoulder and say, yeah, that's a tough realization to come to there, pal. But maybe it would help you find some sort of forgiveness inside if you could help us, make things right. Teddy?
I'm going to wander around and use spare the dying on anyone who's dying.
Nobody seemed to have taken any form of lethal damage.
And I'm going to go over and punch the mayor in the face.
Teddy!
Actually, she slaps him. She's not a puncher. She slaps him
I was
across
going
the
to
face.
say.
Actually, backhand.
As you do that, he just looks completely stunned.
You are so lucky, and I cancel my hex. Oh, wait. I had him hexed. Do I do damage?
Oh my god.
Sure. Roll for damage.
Oh,
I'm
no.
assuming lethal or non-lethal.
Oh, no.
Well, that necrotic damage with her hex ain't gonna be non-lethal.
Yeah, no, but so I got to roll to hit. 17 to hit?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Okay.
Teddy, we're trying to build a trust tree here, and you're just ruining it.
7 points of damage.
Oh, it's a good thing he's a commoner with 1 hit point. I'm just kidding.
I was
You hit him so hard with this slap that you spin him around. Like he just does a and just plops down on his butt and looks up at you. Oh, deserve that.
Yes, you do. Be glad that's all you got. She's going to turn around and go back to where her plate of food is and pick it up and just start eating again.
And that's where we're going to take a break because we're about 15 minutes past when we should have taken a break. And I see people are asking for a break. So I just want to say real quick before we go to break that hopefully all of you, thank you all of you who have joined us. And thank you everybody for the follows, the subs, the gift subs, the cheers. We greatly appreciate all the support. But also just for joining us for what is turning out to be just the perfect slapstick, funny, fun, cheerful game. Better than I could have imagined. And there's more to come tonight. So we're going to take about a 10-minute break. So stick around, tell your friends, and join us back here in 10 minutes. See you after the break. And we're back. These lovely adventurers have just managed to subdue a street brawl, knocking the mayor on his keister, putting a priest who was literally Bible thumping the crowd in his place. Timothy, this priest is still lamenting over his torn holy book at your feet. There are others in the crowd that are either unconscious. Now that the crowd is subdued, some of them seem to be suddenly falling under the delayed effect of Rodney's sleep spell. So some of them seem to be snoozing it off.
I have a question.
Sure.
I want to cup the mayor's chin in my hand and pinch the sides of his face so that his mouth opens and smell his breath. Does it have that fruity, acidic smell to it? Okay. And she'll just kind of shove his face out of her hand. I think they've all been dosed.
Standing.
You okay?
No. But carry on.
Well, then I'll talk to the priest here, their priest buddy. So what's your name there, pal?
My name?
Yeah, the thing people call you.
He looks up at you through tears. It's Cygnus Starborn.
Well, Cygnus,
Great name.
Starborn. I know it's a real sad thing when you feel like you've turned your back on your ethics and all that. And so I'm wondering, what could you do? What would your God, which God do you worship, by the way?
I work at the All Faiths Temple.
Oh, okay. So you tend to be pretty inclusive and like
we're
a lot
sort of a non-denominational.
Okay, well, as you're sort of non-denominational, then let's just say what kind of forgiveness would you want your gods to give you?
I don't even know where to begin.
It's tough to feel overwhelmed like that.
This is so unlike me or anybody.
You've been poisoned.
Well,
Poisoned?
Yeah, there's some external factors going on here that may have led to this. So, maybe you can forgive yourself just a little bit more. And one of the things you could help to find some redemption is to help us figure out the cause of this.
He looks down, muttering something about, as he gathers up the loose pages of his book. I spent years searching for this.
Well, let's help. Let's help you.
We're helping now.
We're going to help him help us.
It's part of the ceremony. Every year we partake of the draft of Saint Isaac. This year, as every year, Druid Gwyn delivered it to us. He spends all year working on the draft of Saint Isaac.
Druid Gwyn, huh?
Yes,
Druid Gwyn.
On the east side of town is where he lives. But this year's draft had a much stronger, fruitier taste than I remember in years past. I had but a swallow when I realized how much of my life I had spent finding this book, and I somehow found myself questioning the validity of what I was even doing. An anger welled up inside of me, and I could think of nothing better to do than to strike somebody in the head with it. But I would never do that.
Of course not.
I believe you.
That has never happened before.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help but wonder if something is off with Gwyn. He's not been right since his daughter and his wife passed. He's been living in solitude. We were questioning whether or not he would even supply the draft this year, but he insisted. But
Tell me, how did they pass?
It was some sort of a sickness that befell them many months ago. They fell into a deep slumber from which they could not and would not awaken.
Oh, that sounds awful.
He tried everything he could, and Druid Gwyn is a very learned druid. But none of his tinctures or concoctions or poultices would work.
No, I imagine they wouldn't.
So he poured himself into this year's draft of St. Isaac's, something he called a joy fruit. And we assumed it was because he was moving on, dealing with the grief of losing his family. But perhaps there's something more going on with Druid Gwyn.
Well, that's maybe possible, but, Mr. Signant, and maybe you could, we'll help you gather up your pages, and you can help introduce us to Druid Gwyn, and we can ask him some friendly questions and figure out if there's anything else going on, and you could help us by guiding the way. Isn't that right, everyone?
His assistance, Timothy. I don't think we'll need his assistance.
He kind of looks between the two of you. I can tell you where he lives. On the east side of town. Just past the Hachette farm. But Druid Gwyn delivered the draft all over town.
Oh, goody.
Can't even imagine what is happening elsewhere.
Does he have a wagon that he was using to deliver them?
Not Druid Gwyn, but some of the merchants in town have gone out to his place to gather up the barrels and deliver them throughout town.
Understood.
Does this mean that we have barrels
don't
in the
drink
well?
any water from the well for a little while. There might be a few barrels that fell in there.
Oh dear. I will get with the mayor immediately. Oh, what's happened to the mayor?
He got a little feisty.
He got his comeuppance.
I will talk to the mayor immediately, and we will secure the well, and whatever else we can. Perhaps you could go and check on Druid Gwyn.
Oh, we plan to.
Hey, Teddy,
Yes.
we're going to use our words first.
Of course we are.
I love using my words.
I tried using my words with this crowd. I'll have you know, I did not attack them initially.
Yeah, I
I'm
feel
the
real
only
bad about
one.
that.
I'm the only one who did not attack them initially.
Well, I just can't stand it when I see people in a position of authority abusing the trust that's been given to them. And well, that's why we're going to help Mr. Priest here make amends.
I understand. And I'm sorry, what was your name again, sir?
It's Cygnus Starborn.
Cygnus Starborn.
I only just returned. I've been gone for years, tracking down the holy text of Saint Brigitte. And now I've ruined them.
Well, it sounded like something kind of important, and none of us was really paying too close of attention, I have to tell you. The sacred text of who now what?
Saint Brigitte.
The Saint Brigitte, I intended to spend the rest of my life in devotion to uncovering the secrets of this text, but who knows how long it'll take me to just fix what I've ruined.
Well, what do you mean ruined?
Honey,
He
the
just sort of
pages just
holds the
fell out.
book out at you. You see pages that are all taken out. Some of them are torn, smudged, stained with the draft of St. Isaac.
Now, perhaps you should commit the rest of your life to sobriety, my friend.
Oh,
I don't
Daddy.
drink. The draft of St. Ignace, or St. Isaac, well, St. Ignace too, neither of them are alcoholic.
No.
I would not drink an alcoholic beverage. I am a teetotaler.
At a party, you serve a non-alcoholic beverage.
All right.
Well,
We're
Dennis,
getting a bit
that's just
far
the-
afield.
The
We should
start
go.
of the party.
Wait, is it,
my.
there's different.
Okay, we've hit the
strokes in
point
that.
of neither here nor there, and let's get ourselves over to the other druid, because as one who
know.
practices, I
Druids.
find it curious they're even calling themselves druid to
Yeah.
begin with.
Well, Mr.
I want to find out more.
Starborn, it was a pleasure making your acquaintance, and I really do appreciate you allowing us to get to know you a bit.
Mhm.
And I pat the priest Cygnus on the shoulder and just say, well, there, Mr. Priest Cygnus, think about the restoration of the text of Saint Brigitte as a devotional and a penance, and learn from it, because that's the best we can all do.
Mr. Starborn, 1 minute, please. And Phoebe's going to take a letter out of her pocket and she'll pass it over to him. Do me a favor. In about a month's time, read this letter. You'll be where you need to be, and I'll make sure to help you resituate everything.
Oh, Phoebe, you are the sweetest.
Well, I have the resources at home, they're just not here.
Yeah. Hopefully we're there by the time he reads it.
In
God, I hope so.
a month's time.
Take
Yes.
a deep breath before you read it.
Very well. Side note, somebody put a pin in it. I will be playing Cygnus Starborn, a cleric, at some point in the future.
Yes!
Come to Phoebe's, honey. I'll take care of you.
I'm just going to insert myself into that role.
I want to see this happen. I absolutely want to see this happen.
Make it happen.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And what was the druid's name one more time?
It was
Sigmund.
Gwyn.
Oh,
Druid
the
Gwyn.
Druid Gwyn,
Please.
yeah.
Gwyn.
Win.
Please.
Gwyn,
The least I
Gwyn.
can do. Take these. And he reaches inside the pockets of his robes and he pulls out 2 healing potions.
Oh.
Absolutely, we will.
So whoever wants those, you can add those to your inventory. You have 2 regular healing potions.
I'll
Oh,
take one of them.
we should definitely give them to Rodney.
I was going
I
to say,
always go
Rob.
last. I'll take one of them so I can feed it to one of you.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah, I
definitely
was
have
gonna
one
say,
because
but-
also Sir Cheddar is he is many
The
things.
2 healers are good.
But
so
one
the
of
others...
them happens to be my personal rideable potion of healing. So,
By the way, how long does the enlarge reduce last?
he extends spelled it, so it only lasts for 2 minutes, so it's probably done by now.
So somewhere around there, he's like, right, it's absolutely my joy to be able to help you out in any way that I can. As the 2 of you...
Oh, so Cheddar.
He's still a
oh,
large,
it's so,
but
we're not
you're
doing the
at
voice.
regular norm. You're at regular, or rather average
heard
gnome
this.
size.
Yeah. Okay. Yay. oh. That was even more fun than I expected.
So, shall we head to Druid Gwyn's?
Yeah. Seems
So-
like the right place to go next.
You continue.
As we start walking, when we round a corner and we're out of sight of the townspeople, Theodora's shape shifts and it almost takes on this like dark cloud that sort of swirls around it. And as the clouds recede from her face as it emerges, looks like Cygnus Starborn's. And as she steps through this
That's-
cloud, she looks like Cygnus.
Okay.
Nicely
I
done.
can make the introductions.
Oh.
Of course, Mr.
Teddy.
Starborn.
What?
We could
You
have just
never let me
had
have
some
any
help
fun.
from the actual person instead of you doing all this.
But it might have been to his detriment. Keep it in
Also-
mind.
If we have
Teddy
to
doesn't
attack,
like people, so
we have to attack. It's better that he's not there.
Oh, I suppose. All right. We just.
It's for his own good.
Oh, I
for
guess
us.
that's true.
And you can see him in a month's time and talk with him some more.
Oh, that's good. I would really love to find out how he's doing and if he's able to get rid of some of those negative emotions.
that's just
As
Right,
you
well, shall we then?
Yes, please.
as you continue along your way, following the road, you can't help but notice in a few other places there seem to be small. Some are like more intimate gatherings of probably family and friends in similar states of disarray, where people are passed out amidst backyard barbecues and street parties and things like that. You start to wind your way outside of the city proper, just to the outer edges, and you find a larger manor house. And, well, not necessarily a manor house. It's a larger house that has a separate outbuilding, like barn, so it almost looks like a manor house. It is one of the nicer houses. As you are approaching, a young woman comes out of the house, and she is wearing a flowing summer dress. She has auburn hair. She looks like she's maybe 16 or 17. Though it's hard to tell because she looks like she might be half elven. She's holding a lantern that has a blue flame in it.
Oh.
And as she's walking out, she's just cradling this lantern. Oh, isn't it so beautiful? Look at how the light dances.
Yes,
It's
lovely.
so pretty. So pretty.
Yes, dear, lovely. Is Druid Gwyn home?
Druid Queen doesn't live here.
Oh,
He
right.
lives nearby.
Yes, they've all turned around. It's the drink, you know.
It's so pretty. I want to let it loose. And she lifts off the thing of the lantern, and she begins to pour the oil out of the lantern that lights, and it begins to spill onto the grass. The grass begins to... look at how graceful the flames are as they dance.
How dry is it out here? Should we be concerned?
It's dry. You should be more concerned by her next words.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
Flames are so pretty. I hate to see them contained. So I set them free. In every room of the house, I set them free so that they can dance and grow until they can dance throughout the whole world.
Well,
and that's when you notice.
You go inside and check for survivors.
You notice the smell of burning timbers, and you begin to notice that there is firelight from inside several of the windows of this house.
Is anyone else home to appreciate these embers?
Oh, yes. I think so. A couple.
Go get them. I'll keep her company.
And a cat.
BB, you get the cat.
Fine.
And
I can multitask, you know.
She's just sort of dancing loosely around the fire.
I don't want the cat to die.
I've got the cat.
All right, so we're going into firefighter round.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
At this point, you see that the house is indeed on fire from the inside.
Yeah.
You know that there are people inside. You will need to do whatever you're going to do to attempt to rescue anybody and or put the fire out. I'm not going to make you roll for initiative because that's not necessary. You can just tell me how you all are going, what tasks you're going to take and how you're going to attempt. Are you going to cast spells? Are you going to use items you have? What are you going to do?
Oh, Timothy, darling. Remember setting stone?
Oh, I do indeed. In fact, remember I have a water elemental stone, and I know from all the years of school that
Timothy,
water
use
and
it.
fire.
Timothy, it's burning down.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take that. How do I use it?
Crush it, I think.
I try and snap it open.
Maybe step on it. Maybe just a
It
solid.
seems a little
like-
strong for trying to snap
Oh,
it.
the mace.
I
Yes.
tap it with my mace. Hey there, water elemental buddy.
Oh, Timothy, I hate to tell you this, but you're going to have to break it.
As you're tapping it, it just kind of goes ting, ting, ting. And a virtual waterfall, a veritable waterfall begins to just spill out of your hands. And
I hold it towards the fire.
as you do so, it seems to arc up and it just about 15 feet in front of you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Until it rises up, forming this, I can't readily grab it. I know I have one back here. Until a full-sized water elemental rises up in front of you. Hashtag not a sponsor.
No, but still, kind of represented.
But a water elemental rises up in front of you, looking like a vaguely humanoid, constantly roiling wave.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna nickname you Hydro unless you tell me otherwise. But hey, Hydro, we need to put out all the fire in this house without hurting the people inside. You think you can help with that?
The water elemental looks at you, and you hear this sort of
I try and speak its language. Can you help with that?
Oh my god.
And the water elemental seems to move forward, and it moves forward by cascading itself. And as it gets closer, it starts to just pour like a waterfall in reverse through the front door. And you hear all throughout the house, you hear the sounds of crashing furniture. You hear
Sorry about that.
Things getting knocked around. A couple windows break, and you see water begin spilling out. But most importantly, you see white steam and smoke begin rising up out of the windows as you have, after about 3 or 4 minutes, the water pours out of a second-story window onto the ground and reforms into Hydro, the water elemental. Fire's out.
Huh?
Well, thank you, Hydro. I hope you will stick around to make sure we can find the survivors.
There are at least 4 others inside.
We're
And a
communicating.
very wet cat.
I'll go handle the cat.
That sounds like a great idea.
Maybe we'll start heading inside in case she needs to do any healing.
Animal handling.
Animal handling, healing.
Well,
Just gotta make sure
you
everyone's
know.
comfortable.
I will say that because you were so quick to act with your water elemental and bring it into play and put the fire out immediately, you don't have to deal with any flames. You are able to get up inside the house and find the very wet and confused, still sleeping. They're confused when you wake them up, inhabitants. A very soaked looking white cat comes charging out of the house and makes a beeline for the girl who's still sort of dancing around in the yard, and begins to sort of twine itself around her legs.
I would actually like to take the girl and make her sit down. And Theodora's going to kneel in front of her and just cup her face and make her look Teddy in the eyes. Dear, it's time for you to sleep this off. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Do you still look like the priest?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I do. Dear, I think it's time for you to sleep this off. Do you understand?
Father Starborn, I haven't seen you in so long.
Yes, I've been off researching Saint Brigitte.
That sounds delightful.
Yes, it's time for you to sleep.
But the festival...
The festival can wait.
We just had the draft of St. Ignace, and then we were coming home to change.
Yes, the festival has been delayed. It's time for you to sleep.
Oh dear. Was it a good festival?
It was eventful.
I remember dancing.
Good. I hope you enjoyed the dancing.
It was such good dancing.
All right, well, come along now. And she's going to kind of scoop her up and escort her in. Now, which way to your room?
As you walk in, you can't help but notice that everything is in disarray. It's all soaking wet.
Sorry.
Well, saved it from the fire. They do have flood damage.
I have flood damage now.
Sure. Well,
You know,
It's
kind
the
of goes
alternative.
down.
if you're gonna have adventures helping you with disasters,
I
there's
don't
gonna be some
remember owning a
collateral.
waterbed.
You'll grow to like it. Really, it's comfortable. Bit damp.
She's in
Wait.
quite a state and doesn't
Can
notice.
anyone here prestidigitate?
Oh, I can do that. I mean, Pip can do. I mean, I can do it through Pip. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Well,
darling.
Could you prestidigitate the bed dry?
Oh, I could do that
Oh.
much. Yeah. I could also wait. I've got a better idea because I bet this would go faster. I can get Pip to breathe fire to heat it up to
No,
steam it.
prestidigitation will do
prestidigitation. Yeah, all
Ray,
right. Got it.
don't think that's such a good idea, Rodney.
Well, it was a thought. I just thought we'd move things along. You know.
No, don't do that.
Very well intentioned.
All right,
Okay.
prestidigitate. I can handle that. Yeah.
Is Hydro the water elemental still with us, or?
I believe you will have the water elemental for a total of 1 hour. We'll say that you've used up about 15 minutes of that time so far.
Well, that's just wonderful, and we'll just take Hydro, and unless Hydro tells us another way to address them, that we'll take them inside with us just to make sure there's no embers still burning.
Hydro makes a quick, moving a little more cautiously, traversing through the rooms, and in the process, just to be sure, extinguishes all lanterns, candles, incense, and fireplaces.
That's just really thorough of you there, Hydro.
Well, it was a helpful one.
Even takes out the pilot on the kitchen stove.
Well, that's gonna be a pain in the ass
Maybe
later.
Phoebe's just gonna have a little tongue-in-cheek fun, and every so often just like do produce flame in her hand just to see what he does.
Well,
A
that's
tendril of
just
water
kind
like
of
in the
mean.
abyss
And
just comes by.
Hydro's helping us out, and there we
Yes.
are tormenting
I just want to
them
make
just a bit.
sure he's not missing anything.
Jeez,
Well,
Hmm.
nothing.
let's not torment Hydro. They've been very helpful.
It's not tormenting. It's just I want to make sure he's effective.
So
Perhaps
as Hydro's
she's
going
just making
around,
sure Hydro feels useful.
That.
as Hydro goes around extinguishing all flames and occasionally extinguishing the produced flame, Rodney and Pip move around and are able to prestidigitate and get everything spick and span. Things need to be will have to be sorted out, put back in place and such. But you're able to, for the most part, dry the place out and get it back to the way it should be, settling everybody down who seems to be sleeping off the effects of whatever this draft was, though you're unsure, given the effects you've seen in Grove, if they'll wake from this slumber.
Right.
Don't really have any other alternatives, though.
Well, they're certainly less destructive this way.
The young girl, as you're sort of laying her in her room and tucking her in, it was such a lovely ceremony.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad it went well.
What
Druid-
ceremony is that, my dear?
Druid Gwyn led
Yeah?
the ceremony of the draft.
Right. And do you remember it? Do you remember what it was like? We missed it, unfortunately. Well, not
Oh,
him, but we missed it.
it's always, he brings the draft of Saint Isaac and we all partake.
Yeah.
And then we get ready for the parties, and it's festival all night, dancing and singing and eating. And we can take the draft of Saint Isaac because it's not a grown-up drink.
That's right. That's right.
But I feel funny.
Well, I think you're just very tired.
I think I am too.
Yeah.
I like your dog.
Oh. He's well, it feels weird speaking for him. Sucheda, she likes you. I don't know why I'm looking behind me. You're down here.
Right. You get yourself some sleep, lass.
Ah, it is.
And when you're recovered, we'll be sure to come and visit you.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be lovely?
I would like that very much. It would be... She trails off into mumbles as she drifts off into sleep.
I'm going to warn you ahead of time. This man has hurt children. I cannot vouch for maintaining my temper.
Well, let's make sure that he knew what he was doing, because I agree with you. You know I do. But I sort of have a feeling that I'm not 100% sure that Gwyn entirely knew what he was about. Now, I might be wrong, in which case the fury of every...
I'm just saying, my temper is not likely to be managed whether he knew what he was doing or not. His negligence may have led to children being harmed, and I have a problem with that.
Hey, Teddy,
Yes.
I have to tell you, it's a little disconcerting to hear your voice while you look like someone else.
I know, isn't it just?
Let's ask questions first instead of apologizing later. Perhaps.
I'll do the introductions and then keep my mouth shut. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
It's proven effective in the past, I have to say.
Phoebe leans over to Rodney. Don't worry, I make sure I have a certain charm about me ready on the go, should we need it.
But if someone needs to be scary, I get to do it, right?
Of course,
Can I
darling.
try this time?
Thank you.
Wow. Sweet love.
Ooh, Timothy, I think you try first, and then if need be, I'll take over.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. When Timothy turns around, Teddy's going to look at BB.
Proud aunties.
Come outside and face me!
Uh-oh.
I beg your pardon. Who was that?
What did they say?
Something about
Face
coming
me.
outside and facing
your
them.
middling asses out here and deal with me face to face!
Hey,
If
Hydra,
we're
let's go
lucky,
outside.
It's Gwyn, but off we go.
I'm going to turn
All right.
back later. And she snaps her hand and moves through the fog again. And this time Theodora's face appears through it. And the smoke kind of tendrils, almost like tentacles, as it moves away from her face.
Oh, well, that's better. Good to see you again, Teddy.
Yes.
Whoever's nearest the window can see
I'm going to guess Timothy.
Probably.
downstairs out in the front yard. You see a humanoid, looks to be human man, who is in a very bedraggled state. He seems to be either very dirty or intentionally covered with vines and leaves.
Oh, God.
I see you up there! Get down here and face me!
Well, okay, I'm coming right down. And I take Hydro and we go out the front door and hi there, friend.
I doubt it.
You're the ones who have been meddling, going around and undoing all of what I've done here.
Oh.
So this was fully intentional.
Of course it was intentional.
That's
Teddy.
Go
what
for
I
it,
need to know.
Teddy.
I've done
Oh,
everything I
hey.
can to protect my family.
Hold off, Teddy.
That's a complicating factor.
Hold on, Teddy.
And you're
I
not
know.
giving away of that.
Well,
Well,
that's
what-
fair.
You're
Who's your
not taking
family?
them.
No, don't want
Taking
to.
who?
My beloveds. They're my
Yep.
family.
Yep.
They'll bring happiness to the world.
Sorry, we should start again at the top. Who are you?
I'm Gwyn.
That's what I was afraid of. All right. Who's your family then?
That's none of your business.
It's your wife.
think
They're
it
my
is, though.
family.
As if we're
And
going to
you're
harm them.
interfering.
Right.
And exactly
with
how are we
what?
affecting your dead family?
Oh.
I am
right.
trying to make their spirits and their
Uh-huh.
happiness and their joy live on through all the people of the world. I have been
Oh.
working all year. They have grown
On?
ever since they passed. I have
Oh,
tended
that's
to
great.
them and grown them and cultivated them until I could harvest their fruit and make.
So you've been doing this while angry,
no.
Gwen, dear?
If your family was taken from you, would you not also
Right.
be angry? And if you
I'd
had a
be angry,
chance
but
to take them back into life through all living things, would you not also take it?
Absolutely
Not-
not. I have been in that
No.
opportunity and know better.
Plus, you sow what you reap what you sow, and when you are pissed off as hell and you are growing plant matter and you are putting it into things, guess what you're actually bestowing upon the world? Nothing but rage and bitterness.
Well, hey there, Mr. Druid Gwen.
That's not very scary, Timothy.
Well, I'm working on it. Give me a moment.
All right.
Or ramp up, you know.
Well, we're going to try and empathize first.
Oh, this wasn't really on the docket, but all right.
Well, so Mr. Druid Gwen, there's sort of a natural progression of things, and it's very difficult to let go of our family members when they pass because, grief is a tough emotion. In fact, it's got a lot of emotions, but we're here to help you if you want. But we can't let you keep doing it. And my friend Hydro here and we're going to stop you.
You
Just to
hi,
be
look
completely
like
clear,
I
so are the
need-
rest of us.
There's more than
group
just,
effort.
Well, no, that we're the first wave, if you'll pardon.
Right,
the
no,
pun.
absolutely.
And-
no, it's right.
Do
Yeah.
I look like
Oh.
I need your counseling?
I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
I
I
was
completely
just
forgot you were
offering
there.
help.
We were
I
having
would
a
have sought
conversation.
help.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, that's true. But if you don't deal with me, then you have to deal with them, and they're really angry.
The 5 of you combined can barely match up to the anger I feel welling inside of me.
Okay.
That's
Timothy,
true.
go
That's-
ahead and
that's
make me
probably
an
true.
insight check on Druid Gwyn.
Okay, well, insight. Let's see here. All right,
oh, this is about to be my
that's a
favorite.
27.
There it is.
Woo!
Whatever his state, whatever his traditional state would be, whatever calm state would be, he is far from it. Something has him in a sort of fever madness. He is being, there's other forces at work, whether spiritual, mental, chemical, you don't know. But he has the look of a trapped animal. As you're close talking to him, you notice that his eyes are constantly, furtively darting from one to the other. He holds a gnarled wooden staff in one hand, and he's constantly gripping it tighter. And you notice that the cloak of leaves that he wears across his shoulder seems to move of its own accord. As his anger flares, the leaves seem to kind of curl up a bit. He looks like a cornered animal that could strike at any moment.
Well, could we Druid Gwyn, could we try something I learned in psychomancy school? Just repeat after me. Sun's going down. It's getting real low in the sky.
Oh. Jesus.
It's an anger exercise.
I have no time or desire to partake in your psychomancy psychobabble. You
Okay,
will
well, I
not
tried.
take my family.
No, we're done. We're done. I tried.
Okay, good. I'd like to roll initiative.
All right,
Beaver's like,
all
"I'm
right,
out."
off we go.
let's do it.
Uh-huh.
Your lord.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
I'm not going last.
Oh, well,
I think I am.
I think I am.
Well, let's see. I haven't rolled for Gwyn yet.
See, honey.
I mean, I got an 18.
It feels only
so-
fitting for the druid. I should roll the die with the baby's
Really?
breath
Got
in
an
it.
18.
Maybe I shouldn't.
This is real bad. Do I use a domain die again?
Use the domain
my
die on
God.
your initiative.
I'm gonna.
God, I gotta use this.
Go for it.
Do it.
Why not?
Oh God, it's the same roll.
Whoopsie.
BB, what'd you get?
Yes.
I got a 4. But I'll stick with it.
Teddy,
17.
Timothy,
A 3.
That's a 3.
Rodney and Sir Cheddar.
We got an 18. I don't know what to tell you.
All right. Rodney and Sir Cheddar, the dynamic duo, will be going first, followed by Teddy, followed by Druid Gwyn, then BB, and last, though immediately in the forefront of everybody, Timothy.
And Hydro.
Oh, yeah, and Hydro, who does have enough time left on his time there. He'll be able to finish out this fight.
Oh, good.
So do you have the stats for the water elemental available?
I can very quickly.
Yeah, you should be able to pull those up on D&D Beyond.
That's the plan.
And that will go on your turn.
Oh God, I'm
Rodney
stuck
and
talking
Cheddar.
like this.
Was the cloak thing just a thing that Timothy noticed? Could I try to notice, or we try to notice that?
Because it's been so long since we last played, I believe you all saw or encountered one of these back at the cabin.
I thought so too.
It's not one of the shambling piles, but it's a thing called a verdant mantle. The tagline, I just have to read this. It grows on you, literally. I found them in the wild, in the forest, but if an enterprising creature finds it first, you're going to be sorry anybody found it at all. It is a symbiote.
Well, I don't. Okay, I don't know if we know that. So, I think we're gonna try and get it off him. Ooh. So, Rodney will. We've never cast this spell before, and I don't know what horrifying thing Pip does when we do. Oh, yes, I do. So,
Oh, I think I know the spell.
So Rodney up on Sir Cheddar reaches down and picks Pip up and sort of sets him up on his hind legs. And Pip Pip's little chinchilla arm sort of raises up and a sort of spectral lasso appears in Pip's hand. Pip then spins around 3 times and releases the spectral lasso at this person as I cast Hold Person on them.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is cool.
Love it.
My DC is so bad, y'all. I should have taken an ability score. It's fine.
It's all for the story.
So it's a wisdom saving
It's
throw.
a wisdom saving throw.
And I guess I would, if it makes a difference, I would be targeting the druid, not the cloak.
Sure.
I don't know if they can be targeted separately, but anyway, that would be what Rodney is sort of doing.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. And I, what am I? Oh, right. Me and Sir Cheddar have the same meta magic. Never mind.
That is going to be a total of 25.
Oh, let's domain dice that to try again.
All right, that's 2 domain dice to
Yeah.
make me re-roll. I re-roll the same die. It is now a natural 20.
Oh, for heaven's sake. All right,
re-roll it
fine. He
again.
doesn't get
Good
paralyzed.
God.
Nope. Re-roll it again.
I will re-roll it again.
Just do it.
Okay.
Rolling,
Okay.
rolling, rolling.
All right.
I will re-roll that again. Let me just fix the total here.
I have things that can help with this, but not if he rolls 20 plus.
Right?
That is a 15.
Okay, so for this one, Sir Cheddar is going to reach into the weave of chaos and bend luck.
Yeah.
So he will roll a d4 as a bonus or penalty in this case, to the creature's attack roll, ability check, or saving throw.
Hot diggity.
Oh, wait.
Oh, waiting.
You had rolled wild magic previously that granted disadvantage on the next saving throw.
Oh,
So
right.
let me
Oh,
re-roll
gods.
that first one
Okay.
as a disadvantage, and I might have to owe you some domain dice back.
Oh.
Yeah, you do.
No.
No. Okay, great.
No, that was a dirty 20. So
Okay.
I wanted to be sure to give you that
I
benefit.
appreciate you. I appreciate you.
So now you're rolling a
do.
d4 to attempt
So
to
now
take
I'm
away
rolling a
from the saving
D4.
throw of 15.
Yes.
What happens?
That is, it's a 3, which makes it a 12, which is, oh, damn it, that's my DC. Mother of God. Never mind. I don't have bend luck, so I can't also do it because I'm not high enough level because Sir Cheddar's a better sorcerer than me.
Cheddar makes it better.
That's
Cheddar
all right.
makes-
Okay.
Absolutely. Oh
We
my
tried
gosh,
real
sure.
hard, and I think the dice are telling us something, and that's fine. Sir Cheddar, though, on his turn, you know, whether or not my spell. Oh, I need to roll a surge.
I was just
on
going
mine.
to say, I need a wild surge.
Hold
or
on.
a surge.
All right, that was an 18.
Okay.
That was an 18. So I think Sir Cheddar is just like, whether or not the spell works, is just we're gonna head over there and just try and like grab the cloak and take it off. With our mouth, and by our, I mean
Cheddar's just going
I
to
mean.
straight up run over, grab it, and just start tugging.
Jeez.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I think so.
That's going to be a contested strength athletics check.
Well, that's not gonna go great for Cheddar, but all right. Oh, it's an 18. I rolled it again.
You're going to love this.
Oh no, it's an 18, didn't you?
I rolled the symbol that's on this die.
No.
But on this particular set of green paired adventure dice from Trader Bandons, the symbols are on all the ones. That is a natural 1.
Nice.
Now let's see if by symbiote we mean physically attached, because that's about to be gross.
Yeah.
Lots of roots.
Oh.
They're shallow.
Like little teddies. Like, oh.
No, not little teddies. Not little
I didn't
teddies.
say teddies. I said
Tendrils.
tendrils.
Oh, I thought you
Thank
said
you. Tendrils, darling. What's
You
something
do
about
that
you?
in
I don't
Just
know.
Don't be
double
rude.
checking.
I know you have a thing for tentacles.
So
this
as
is
you-
tendrils.
As Sir Cheddar grabs hold of it and begins pulling, and I'm going to say because of the natural 1,
Oh no.
It was good.
it rips away,
Gross.
causing him. I mean, there's actual tearing of the vines and branches that seem to be almost woven into his very being.
Well, now we know.
And where it was draped over his shoulder, there's now raw flesh exposed. But he also stumbles and staggers for a moment. You know that by taking this away from him, you have removed a powerful boon that he had.
Oh. A powerful boon, not a powerful enchantment
Influence.
on his brain. Well, that's unfortunate, isn't it?
No, this
All right.
was not. This was unfortunately his state of mind doesn't change.
Is that
Teddy.
unfortunate?
But also,
Get him.
Sir Cheddar now has a living verdant mantle in his mouth,
Oh,
Well, that's not great, is it?
but it's grappled.
Okay. Well,
It's a salad.
there is a very specific instruction about things that Sir Cheddar, or situations in which Sir Cheddar will and will not bite things. So odds are he will be dropping that sooner than later, but we can wait for the next
right.
round for that.
That's gonna be Teddy. You're up next.
Teddy runs her hands like this as she stares him in the eyes and says, "By the unholy bands of marriage to Nakarata Aman, I conjure forth a witch bolt." And from her ring finger on her left hand comes shooting this black sort of lightning flame. And it wraps itself around him and just continues as she focuses the energy on it. So I will roll the hit. It's going to be a 24 to hit.
That is a hit.
And damage is going to be 15.
Gracious.
As the lightning begins coursing through and weaving through the vines and branches and his very skin. Is that the extent of your turn?
It is. That spell is going to continue through the next round. It continues until he drops or I drop it.
Well.
Oh,
You
nurse.
strike upon me with your lightning. It's such adorable lightning.
Oh.
As I just got to double check something. As he's saying this, you see that he's moving his hands in a particular way. And he utters something in Druidic, which I believe BB would recognize.
BB's on it.
As he is summoning lightning from the very storm clouds he has caused to appear in the sky above. And he's calling lightning down upon you.
Ouch.
So anybody within... Oh, no.
Oh no.
I read that backwards. That's everybody. That's a 60...
Yeah.
That's a 60-foot radius. So
Yeah.
I'm going to need a dexterity save from everybody.
I'm gonna.
Oh.
He's a gonna.
I read 60-foot tall by 10-foot radius. It's the other way around.
And that's a what save, Dex?
Let me see. Hold on. When you cast this, oh wait, you choose a point you can see. Sorry, that's the radius of the cloud. A bolt of lightning flash. I don't play call lightning. A bolt of lightning flashes down from the clouds to a point. Each creature within 5 feet. So anybody within 5 feet of Teddy is going to have to make a dexterity saving throw.
What did you just do, Teddy? Oh, you witch bolted.
Yeah.
So Teddy needs to make a dexterity saving throw. I will leave it up to you to determine if you were near her.
19.
Let me see what his spell save is. I don't think it's that high, but his spell save DC
If it is, I'm scared.
So that's
Yeah,
gonna
we
be-
should go if it
If
is.
it is. Sorry, Timothy.
No, that is a success. So you will take 8 points of lightning damage.
Got it.
As lightning begins crackling down from the sky up above, for his call lightning spell. And I do believe that's his turn.
Teddy just kind of dabs at a little trickle of blood from her nose and continues to hold her hand out.
All right. BB,
Yes.
you're up.
I just I miss her.
Oh.
Please scritch her for me.
Yes, please. Give her a smooch.
So BB is incensed at this point because druids like this give her druid self a bad name, and she is going to stalk up behind him so that we are flanking now between Teddy and BB. And I'm going to use this lovely little scimitar that we found while we're here, and not only do a little slicing, but do a little icing.
I see what you did there.
Okay. So that is going to be. As it really, you couldn't have made that a 20. But anyways, it is a mathing 24 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So then that is going to be 3 points piercing. And then another 3 cold. Oh wait, no, take it back. 6 points piercing, 3 cold.
All right. Timothy, you are up.
Oh, well, hey there. Well, Druid Gwyn, you tried to hurt my friends and you tried to hurt a lot of other people. So I'm afraid we got to have to stop you. So what we're going to do is, well.
You don't have to do this. You can stop them from hurting me. I just want to save my family.
We have some different ideas about what family it entails here, and well, sometimes we have to accept the losses of our friends and grieve, not hurt other people, So we're going to have to stop you. And I take, once again, a swing for the cheap seats.
All right.
Actually, you know what? Forget that.
Oh.
Guiding bolt.
Yeah.
Oh.
As you do that, I'm going to add the domain die from What You're Looking At, who is MTD's first ever and therefore longest subscriber, who just subscribed for 35 months in a row.
Oh.
That's impressive.
I always try to,
Awesome.
to give them a shout out whenever I can, because they are our first ever sub. So that's going to put you all up to 16 domain dice.
Woo!
Awesome. And I love the name.
Mm-hmm. What you looking at?
What you looking at? That's so good.
Okay, does a 25 hit?
Twice.
Okay,
Yes,
well,
it
that's,
absolutely hits.
Amazing.
Oh, I got to make a concentration check on him for the damage you did with your slice and ice. Oh, yeah, the lightning storm dissipates so quickly. I rolled a natural 1 on the con save.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, baby's gonna be like, not so easy to keep a storm going, is it?
Well, I hit. I'm just real sorry about this, Mister, and just point at him and hit him for 14 radiant damage. Oh, also, Hydro, would you take care of this for us?
Forgot about Hydro.
In the process, Hydro moves onto the same square as Druid Gwyn and uses the Whelm ability, which basically grapples him while he's inside Hydro.
Oh boy.
DC 15 strength check. Hope he can breathe water.
Which of these dice? All of them have failed me except for this Todd Stashwick lava.
Use
die.
those ones.
So
And then we're just going to
use the
domain
ones that
dice
keep
on
failing me.
Yes.
Yes.
What's the saving?
One more than whatever you rolled.
It was a strength
15.
athletics check. Is that what it was?
It's a DC 15 strength.
Well, as you know, druids are incredibly strong.
Yeah.
It's a 10.
Oh,
it's a 10.
totally.
Okay. So they take. Oh wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. How about 18 bludgeoning damage? And it's grappled inside and drowning.
So as the Hydro whelms into the space, just as the lightning seems to crackle and the cloud dissipates, and it should be noted that unless she's broken it, Teddy's still holding witch bolts on him. So as Whelm, or Hydro rather, whelms on top of him, you see Druid Gwyn looking confused and sort of thrashes for a moment, and then you just see he grows still and floating inside. Now you have to determine if you want to kill him or leave him unconscious.
Oh, no, we should leave him unconscious. Teddy.
He's done. He's unconscious at this point.
Teddy.
But if he stays in there much longer, he will die.
Oh. Hey, Hydro, can you let off? Everybody gets a chance to redeem themselves.
After he falls to the ground, Teddy relents.
So just one little extra jolt.
Yeah.
His body sort of. But
Teddy,
he is
that necessary?
He is.
It was
unmoving.
adorable. He called me adorable.
Well, you are adorable.
Oh, thank you.
Timothy.
I'll take it as a compliment coming from Timothy. Anyone else, it's fighting words.
Fair.
Plus, if we leave him alive, we can ask him questions later.
Shouldn't we
I don't
check
think
on
he's
him?
going to want to talk to us.
He's just
if I'm
kind of
honest.
lying there.
After we
Oh,
tie him
fine.
up,
I'll go over and make sure he's stable. Is he stable?
You are able to stabilize him.
All right, I'm going to spare the dying on him just in
Oh,
case.
blessings.
Oh, BB's tying him up.
In the interest of time, I'm going to epilogue this section.
Yeah.
And will allow you to make a choice that will determine how we proceed. In the aftermath of all of this, You are able to subdue him. You get him under control, tied up. You're able to investigate his home, where you find that both his wife and his daughter are dead in their beds, clearly having succumbed to their disease and having been deceased for a long time. It's evident from his journals that he kept them in quarantine for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
In his notes, you find that he was observing them during their treatments, and you're able to determine that it is indeed the same plague which affected Grove, but there was a much longer incubation period.
Oh.
He seems to have been immune to this, but it's clear from his ramblings and his state that he was driven mad by this whole experience. Sometime after midwinter, Druid Gwyn claims in the journals to have seen a manifestation of the forest spirit in the heart of the nearby forest. This glowing magical representation of the forest explained that the disease was a trial, and that Druid Gwyn had shown himself to be a willing sacrifice. Now he would learn to grow the joyous boon of the forest. And through the journals, you realize that the plants in his yard that he began to cultivate, bearing this fruit, he took to calling joy fruit. He believed that the spirits of his wife and daughter had transferred to the trees, and that by cultivating them and making this joy fruit concoction and infecting those around the world, that he was spreading their life force and bringing joy to the world. He, despite the fact that the forest spirit seemed to have indicated that he should, that he had given a willing sacrifice, he shows no anger towards the spirit of the forest, and even talks about having gone in there many times, trying to meet with it again. You will have noted in your investigations that the handwriting in Druid Gwyn's journal does not match that of the notes and annotations you found in the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
So there is still something or someone out there.
Forest spirit.
A little while after you're doing your investigations, an older woman shows up to the house and introduces herself as Trinity Aria. She is Gwyn's great aunt and a nearby neighbor who had noticed that he had been behaving strange but did not know the extent to which his madness had gone. She tells you that Gwyn herself and a man named Aethor were once students of an archdruid named Deng. But she found herself, Trinity found the studies and everything to be too arduous. She left the studies and became a sage instead. But Aethor and Gwyn continued in their studies. Trinity recommends that you take Gwyn to Master Deng for treatment. As a former student, Archdruid Deng might be able to heal him, or at least take care of him until he recovers. But she warns you, Druid Deng he's a cantankerous old fool who can hold a grudge, but he's dedicated to his duty to the land and to the community. You should be certain to be very polite when you visit him. I can arrange transport on a river barge, or if you prefer over land, provide you with the directions.
I think the river barge would be the safest means of getting there personally.
I assume that's probably the shorter route as well, Mum?
Very well. I will make the arrangements. I suggest strongly that you keep the druid, that you keep Gwyn, my great nephew, here in captivity until everything is taken care of. I will arrange for travel and set you on your course. And that is where we are going to end this week's adventure. I would like to say a welcome, well-timed welcome to the party of 95 that just rated us.
All the time.
From Geekly Inc. It always happens that way.
Yeah.
But I'm going to throw a bonus domain die at the party for that end of stream.
Thank you.
But that does earn them a domain die. Please, I encourage you newcomers, hit the follow button for more awesome D&D content. This concludes the 4th session of our ongoing mini campaign from Hope and Redemption from Harper's Tale, which is available. I think I set it up so if you type !Harper, there will be a link to the drive-through RPG where you can actually purchase this book. There's an incredible story behind the creation of this book. The young girl, Harper, the namesake of the book, who is currently in remission from the form of leukemia that she was suffering from, has been set up in this book's profits have been set up in a trust for her. So when you purchase this book, you are supporting Harper. Not a sponsor in any way, but I always want to provide the information about that for you. Yeah, it looks like that did show up in the chat. This game happens every other Tuesday, right here at 8 p.m. on twitch.tv/MiniTerrainDomain. This is the last D&D stream of 2020, but I assure you, next week we will be returning full force with all of our regular schedule. We've got on Sunday night, I will be over on Big Bearded Nerds channel for a Star Wars game run by our friend Jay Neofat, who has been in the chat tonight. On Monday night, our All That Glitters Dungeon of the Mad Mage game returns. On Tuesday, I will be over on Dice on Ice for our ongoing Strahd campaign. On Wednesday, I will be over on Erasmus Expeditions, our friend Jeremy from Dawnbringers, in our penultimate episode of our 2-year-long Momentum Whispers and Fragments campaign. Thursday, we'll see the return of the Dawnbringers with episode 5, which is actually session 5, episode 4 of the Adamantine Fortress arc, where we are learning where Fig has been during his disappearance to the Underdark. And then we will continue with our season 5 Rime of the Frost Maiden. And then in the coming time, actually that Friday, we have our first ever episode of a brand new series here on MTD called Friday Night Takeover, where I have invited 8 different game masters running 8 different game systems. They are bringing their players, running their game, and Dwight and I are producing, so that you can get, a lot of them are 5e systems. There's going to be some Mistcloth, there's a She-Ra game, there's some Cryfoth, all kinds of cool stuff. Scream the Horror is going to be run. Somebody's running a Goblin Honey Heist game. All kinds of great games that are happening.
What?
Yep.
What?
And that'll, just stay tuned. That'll be happening on a Friday night here on the channel. And that's for the next couple of months. We'll be running those Friday Night Takeover games. I do want to encourage you because Alan's Curse of Strahd game finished, and they're starting a new campaign over on CFT RPG on Twitch, where they're going to, in the new year, they're going to be running a Middle Earth campaign. But we wish Alan well. He spent over a year. It might have been longer. I know it was 50 some episodes, maybe more, of Curse of Strahd here on MTD on Friday nights, and we wish them well as they take their game over on that. I guess we'll have to definitely make sure that people know when the Goblin Honey Heist game happens, and because everybody seems to be really excited about that.
Yeah.
And I know it's being run by our friend M from the Dawnbringers, who plays Fig. and they run a fantastic game, so you'll want to stay tuned for that. Lots of other great stuff coming in 2021 here on the channel. So if you haven't done so already, please hit that follow button. Consider giving us a subscribe. I do want to say just a heartfelt thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. I had a blast with this game, as I always do with these amazing players, but it just warms my heart to see so many people in the chat following along, having their own conversations. It's just such a great community experience, and I hope you enjoyed what you saw. And of course, I have to say a just tremendous thank you to V and GoblinKatie and Eugenio and to Dr. B, all of you, without whom it would just be me talking to myself for 3 hours. This was a much needed therapeutic game. I had planned not to run anything in the break, but I'm glad we played this game because it was just a lot of fun. And you continued your non-lethal streak.
How are we doing this? I don't understand.
I don't know.
I guess I just got to piss you off a little bit more.
I guess so.
Or just let Teddy have more than one turn.
But,
Just piss us off more.
We didn't do it at the top because I forgot. So as we head out of here, I'm going to let each of you go ahead and do an outro. Tell us where we can find you, because I know all of you have amazing things going on and have even announced recently some amazing things coming up. So we'll start with V and we'll go clockwise around. So V?
Okay. Hi, I am V Muse, and you can catch me here on Mini Train Domain every Thursday night for Dawnbringers, as well as every Tuesday, for this fantastic game. You can also find me over on WizKids' YouTube channel every Wednesday for Mini Mayhem, where I showcase some products that are coming out, as well as miniature painting, and on other channels, as well as a guest player here and there. So make sure you follow me over on Twitter at the Crafting Muse to find out when those will be happening. And I think I will keep it short, sweet, and simple, and find me on social media as the Crafting Muse in some shape or form. That means
GoblinKatie.
it's GoblinKatie.
Hello, I am GoblinKatie, aka Katie Downey. You can catch me every Sunday. We're starting our new year this January 3rd on D4 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/rockpunchatl or twitch.tv/DND. We are on the official D&D channel. We play a game. It's a heavily modified Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and think Lovecraft meets Dragon Heist. I think that's the best way to describe it. You can catch me there, or you can find me on the Stellar Arcanum podcast, which releases every other Monday. We are in hiatus because the world is on fire, but it's a good time to get caught up on everything that we've done so far. And you can catch me on all the socials at GoblinKatie. That's me.
Hooray! Hi, everybody. I'm Eugenio. You can find me on most of the social things at DM Jazzy Hands. Let's see. I have an actual play D&D podcast. We release new episodes every Wednesday, so a new one coming out tomorrow. That show's called The Last Refuge. You can check us out on Twitter at DND Last Refuge. I also stream here on Twitch, so you can follow my channel, twitch.tv/DM Jazzy Hands. I play mostly RPGs, and we have a good time. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern ish. We'll see when my coffee's ready. I'm going to be on the I Need Diverse Games channel, streaming a little bit of Grindstone from Pop Agenda. It's really cute. Think, Candy Crush, Gardenscape style, like color matching game, but with some really cute art, some really great music. It is just recently ported to the Nintendo Switch, and they've asked some I Need Diverse Games affiliates to show it off. So they were kind enough to send us a copy, and I'm going to be streaming that tomorrow morning. New Year's Eve on Thursday, I will probably stream on my channel, maybe some Dragon. I don't know what we're going to play. Something fun. Come hang out. And then in the new year, that's about it for me this week. But in the new year, I too will be seen on the D&D Twitch channel on Sundays as one of the two newest members of Rivals of Waterdeep. Brian Gray, Urban Bohemian, and I are going to be joining the cast of Rivals this coming season with the amazing Latia Jaquise as our DM. And we're so excited to join that crew. So that'll be Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on the D&D Twitch channel. And
It's a really great show.
It's
So cool.
I'm super excited. And that's all I got now. We're still waiting to hear about season 2 of Motherlands, but y'all will be the first to know when I hear. So
But while waiting for that news, there's 10 episodes of Into the Motherland sitting on the YouTube channel ready to be devoured.
That's right. It's on the YouTube, and we do. Our producer Leonie is amazing and would put out a podcast audio version. So if that's more your speed,
awesome.
We have those available as well.
Excellent. And finally,
hi. God, I'm stuck in the Timothy voice. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Rafael Bocamazzo, better known as Dr. B. I'm the clinical director over at the mental health nonprofit Take This. Make sure to follow Take This org on all the socials. And I am also every other week found with a group of mental health types playing a D&D game called Clinical Role. And I'm also found here, and I'm also cradling a really anxious dog right now.
Aww.
And
He's so cute.
she's got separation anxiety.
Precious.
She comes to me now.
Fly back out there.
No.
But yeah, you can follow me on the socials at the Dr. B, THEE. Yeah, that's me. I'm around.
all right. Well, thank you all so much. I do want to give one last shout out. Just because I'm gonna start teasing little bits here and there as we get closer. We're in the very early planning stages, but coming this May will once again be Jasper's Game Week right here, a week-long streaming event right here on Mini Terrain Domain. It starts on Sunday, May, and will continue until that Thursday. I know we have a date picked out. I don't remember what it is right now. Many people will be involved with that. We don't have our guest list yet. We have a lot of people that we would like to be involved and people that have been involved. So we will be having information very soon for people to find out how you can be involved, including seats that will be raffled off, auctions for seats for high profile games, as well as, if there's somebody you want to have a chance to game with. It's going to be similar to this year's, I don't know, 45 months ago in May of this year,
Right.
when we ran the last one. We had people like Todd Stashwick DMing. We had Chris Perkins, B. Dave Walters closed us out.
Still here.
And so many people that were a part of it. We ran this year we closed it out actually with Dawnbringers.
Yeah.
But we're hoping to get a lot of great people involved and raise money as we always do for Jasper's Game Week. It's a week-long focused event. Myself and Big Bearded Nerd Dwight will be behind the scenes, sitting in the chairs, pushing the buttons, producing everything, supported by a wonderful team. Stay tuned. We will have more information in the coming weeks and months as we lead up to Jasper's Game Week 2021. And hope
Speaking
to see
of
you
Jaspers,
there.
I totally forgot to mention on January 7th, I'm going to be participating in a Jasper's Game Day event, New Year, Mentally Healthier You.
Fantastic.
And I'm going to be playing Vampire, DM'd by the amazing Ellie Collins, who is the GM or the storyteller. Sorry, it's Vampire. The storyteller for Atlanta by Night, which is an amazing stream if you've never seen it. But that's going to be at 7 p.m. on I think it's 7 p.m. No, sorry, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on January 7th. There's so many numbers.
That's your sevens.
So
One
many
of these
numbers.
days, I got to get into a vampire game. I've never played.
It's
yes,
fun. I haven't
please.
played in about 2
My wife and I
years,
just
so I'm
finished
excited.
recently just finished binging all of True Blood. And
Yeah.
I've watched
Man.
many other vampire things, so now I want to play a vampire.
Yeah.
So,
I'm excited. It's going to be a good game.
awesome. So be sure to check that out. Lots of great stuff. I'm well over when I promised these guys I would have them out of here. But for the remainder of what we have in this nightmare of a year of 2020, whatever it's been, there's been a lot of good things that have happened in this year, but I know it's been a crazy year. Please be safe, be kind to yourself. Reach out, know that you're not alone. Reach out if you need help, and just know that we love you. And we are going to end this stream the same way we end every stream. You can say it with me if you want.
Hee hee.